The following presentation is made possible by the Prairie Grove All Sports Booster Club and sponsored in part by PG Telco. And welcome to a night of Prairie Grove Tiger football. On the behalf of the administration, Superintendent Alan Williams, Assistant Superintendent Vol Woods, Athletic Director Coach Mike Green, Principal Ron Bond, Assistant Principal Joey Saunders, and Head Coach Danny Absher, his staff, and the entire Prairie Grove Tiger football team, we want to thank you for joining us for tonight's game. The broadcast of tonight's game is made possible through PG Telco, the providers of PGTigersOnline.com. PG Telco, built on community, focused on progress. Ozark Delight, America's #1 fundraising lollipop. Lewis Automotive, serving all of Northwest Arkansas since 1947. The Bank of Fayetteville, we're banking on your potential. Sterling Drug, serving Prairie Grove since 1918. Flowers and Friends, flowers, gifts, and more with a hometown touch. Steak and Shake, famous for steak burgers, shakes, malts, and more, just south of the Northwest Arkansas Mall. J&B Auto, Prairie Grove's bumper-to-bumper auto parts store. And Frederick's One Stop, the one stop for all your needs when you're on the go. Prairie Grove football is also brought to you in part by the Prairie Grove All Sports Booster Club. Showing your Tiger pride is just a membership away. And now your crew for tonight's game, Lynn Gregson, Zach Arns, and Steve Halbert. It's football time in Prairie Grove.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the 10th contest of the year for Prairie Grove. We come to you from Gravette tonight. And Zach, the nicest facilities we've seen all year.
Without question. It has a big game feel. It is a big game, and we're in a big-time press box. This feels like we're working an NFL game here. We're indoors. It's nice and warm. Things are good here in the press box.
We definitely want to thank our host tonight, the Gravette administration and the athletic department. They've been wonderful hosts. But this is a big game feel to it, Zach. Playoff implications, who plays who, and where, all those things play into tonight's game. Of course, there's other games going on that have an effect, but this will kind of tell the tale.
This will be the one that starts the dominoes falling towards where playoff seedings are going to go. And simple road for Prairie Grove is win this game, and you're at the very worst #2 seed, depending on what happens between Ozark and Gentry. I think we're going to assume that Ozark's going to win that football game, which means Prairie Grove's probably looking at the 2 seed. Now, you take care of your business here tonight, you're the 2 seed. If you don't, you're going to have to wait till the end of the night and get some point differentials and maybe a coin flip. Who knows? I mean, there could be a 3-way log jam for that 2, 3, and 4 spot.
And a lot of it will depend. I know we can go through various scenarios, but should Farmington beat Shiloh tonight and we lost, then it would be a 3-way tie. If Shiloh beats Farmington and Shiloh with they would have 2 losses, and so it'd still be another 3 where in all cases it goes to point differentials and various things.
Best case scenario is handle your business tonight, and then you don't have to really worry about where you're going to go, where you're going to play that first round playoff game. But boy, we've got 2 teams tonight that are mirror images of each other, statistics wise, size wise, player wise. It's going to be a phenomenal night, and I know you and I have been pointing to this game since Daniel Schrock ripped off the 36-yard run against Shiloh, pointed at the sky and said, "Bring on Gravette." This is the game we've been looking forward to.
I tell you what's also great about tonight's game. In tonight's game, last year, knowing that we had a tough season, but at the end, the guys still played hard, and our last game of the season last year was in Gravette. When we played Gravette, I looked at the roster that they played that night. They had, I want to say, 20 or 21 of the starters last year were juniors for that last game. Now, whether that was all year or not, I'm not sure. But I knew that Gravette was going to have a great team this year. I knew what we had coming up. I knew we'd be. So I kind of thought this would be a big game all along. And if you read the internet fodder, people have been wanting this game for a while. So it's very, very exciting for both schools and again, playoff implications. And Gravette, literally, just talking to the guys next to us in the booth, they're 2 fumbles away from being undefeated.
Yeah, they fumbled twice inside the 5-yard line against Shiloh Christian and against Farmington, and you can't do that against good football teams. And in a lot of ways, Prairie Grove is exactly where Gravette was last year. So hopefully, I think at the beginning of the season, you and I both talked about it. We thought the Gravette Lions were going to be probably the favorite, the team that should win the 1-4A. And, again, minus 2 fumbles inside the 5-yard line, they could be undefeated.
And there's a lot of talk. We talk about the internet and things that we hear on there and things that we talk with various folks in the football area. There's a lot of talk that Gravette, in spite of the 2 losses, still may be both sides of the ball, top to bottom, still may be one of the best team. I mean, they're the only team to beat Ozark, who is probably going to be the 1 seed out of the conference.
In a lot of ways, I crunched every number I could possibly come up with this week, and literally, if you go across the board, Prairie Grove and Gravette are identical. Its number of points scored against common opponents is 169 points or 24 points a game. Prairie Grove's defense, and we haven't talked a lot about them during the last couple of weeks, but 97 points scored for Prairie Grove the last couple of weeks, 14 given up. They are really humming on defense, and they're really. If you're looking for a key to tonight's game, the key matchup's going to be that Gravette offense against Prairie Grove defense, because I don't think either of these teams are geared for a large comeback. If you can get a touchdown, 2 touchdowns ahead, you have a significant advantage.
Well, the other thing about tonight's game, and as you talk about Prairie Grove and how they've been, Prairie Grove's schedule was front heavy.
Oh, absolutely.
I mean, Shiloh, Farmington, Ozark, or I guess it was Ozark.
First 3
those
games,
are the first 3 games in the conference. We came out of that 2-1, and then in just the teams maybe the next tier in the conference we play next. One other thing I want to make sure is folks are watching tonight is that our comment page is working. However, for us tonight, and I may make this announcement a couple times because people will be coming on, for us, we cannot see it. We are on the Gravette school internet system, and things like Twitter and YouTube and any kind of comments page they have blocked off. So unfortunately tonight we
Mark Zuckerberg would be very upset with us right now.
I guess the only thing is if you go to Fearless Friday, maybe we could start something. You know what? Why don't we start something on a break on Fearless Friday? Yep. And if someone wants to comment, go to Fearless Friday.
I'll go in there and start one of those up here shortly.
All right, then we'll reference people to Fearless Friday night. We'll do a little advertising for them. Okay, we're going to take a short break, and following our break, we're going to have the Coach's Corner with Coach Danny Apsher of the Prairie Grove Tigers. And following that, Zach and I'll be back to talk about tonight's games and the keys to the game. Thank you for watching Prairie Grove Tiger football.
It's time now for the Coach's Corner, brought to us by Lewis Automotive, serving Northwest Arkansas since 1946. What does it take to win a President's Award from Ford Automotive? It takes hard work. It takes dedication, teamwork, a lot of the same ingredients that Coach Absher looks for in his Tiger football team. Well, at Lewis Ford, they won the President's Award because they delivered award-winning service before, during, and after each and every sale. That's the standard that's been set at all of the Lewis Automotive dealerships, be it Ford, Chrysler, Dodge, or Jeep. Lewis Automotive, delivering award-winning service since 1947. Lewis Automotive says, go Tigers! Sitting down with Coach Absher for the Coach's Corner. And, Coach, all I can really think of is, what a difference a year makes as we enter into this Gravette game. This time last year, a completely different situation. Tell me what we're looking at. I mean, I know we're watching points, we're watching scoreboards, we're watching games, but basically we just need to take care of business tonight versus Gravette.
Well, it looks like Ozark's got the 1 seed. If we will take care of business, we will be the 2 seed. There is other scenarios that could happen that change things, and it relies on the Farmington and Shiloh game and who wins by how many points. But like you said, if we will take care of business, we'll be the 2 seed.
So as we go into Gravette tonight, of course, last year they came in here, they turned Streleski loose on us. He's been hampered with some injuries. Is he still down a little bit, or what do you expect out of Streleski in their offense this week?
I kind of think that they're back full speed. I know they've had a few people down in a few different places, but I don't think, maybe a concussion on one kid that was slight, and how long does it going to last until he can come back in? It looks to me like they're back to full strength when they play us.
So does that put Prairie Grove at full strength and Gravette at full strength? Are we seeing the top 2 teams go at it tonight on the field?
Well, you should see that. Kobe Elkins is from the Gentry game. He got tackled and hurt his leg for a little bit, and he's kind of gimped on it this week. But I think he will be full speed. So far, everybody else is good to go.
So we're expecting basically an all-out war.
Well, yeah, some wars are won and lost up front. they've got some hosses up front. We hope that we can stand up with those hosses in the trenches, and then that may decide the game.
Now, a lot of folks have said in the past that if you stop Streleski, you stop Gravette, but now a lot of folks said if you start Bartholomew, you stop Prairie Grove. We found that that's not the case. What other weapons can we see tonight from Gravette?
Well, I think one of the receivers, number 34, he ran a touchdown last week, a receiving touchdown. I think he returned a punt back. And I think as far as the receiving corps, maybe the best receiving corps that we've seen this year. So they can pass well as run well. And then 34 runs the ball good. Their fullback 44. Number 44 runs the ball well also. So they've got some other weapons besides Streleski. They're going to get it to him. He's a game breaker. He's a game maker. So he's going to get the ball several times. But I think they spread it around. They'll give him his share of carries. And hopefully we can take a good chunk of their offense away if we'll slow him down.
Now, over the last few weeks, you have to admit that there have been a little play here, a little play there, a package here, a package there. Have you been kind of preparing for this final showdown between Gravette? Do we expect to see something else from Prairie Grove tonight? Another wrinkle?
We've been wrinkling for the past couple of weeks, something different instead of the same thing that we normally do. Just a couple of wrinkles here and there. So, yeah, we'll show you a couple of things on offense tonight, a couple of things on defense that's a little different. And we've been doing that for the past few weeks. We just trade it a little each week, give you something new that you haven't seen, and on offense or defense. So that's kind of the plan tonight, too.
And it seems as though every single week there's been a different player. We had Dalton Falk that stepped up big in the Shiloh game last week. Christian Denton comes out of nowhere, and he's catching everything in sight, intercepting, having a great game. But tonight it's going to take more than just one guy. We're going to have a team effort, right?
I think we need a team effort. That's when you're best, when everybody's doing their job. And then truly, Christian Denton was on fire last week. He seemed like every time he got two one-handed catches and a couple of interceptions. I thought Cooper Winters played well, 2 passes for touchdowns, 2 rushing touchdowns. So and that maybe instead of Weston or Schrock or Cooper or Denton or Halbert, maybe we can all put it together in one night and look good.
Since 1947, there's been a Lewis at the helm of Lewis Automotive. It's family-owned, family-operated by a family that calls Prairie Grove home. PG Telco is the proud sponsor of PGTigersOnline.com, where you can find out all the very latest of what's going on with all the sports teams right here in Prairie Grove. But PG Telco is more, a lot more. They offer phone, internet, long-distance services, and bundles, making it all affordable. And that includes DirecTV. For your home or office, staying connected to the fast-paced world is as easy as calling PG Telco. Call 846-7200. That's 846-7200. PG Telco, built on community, focused on progress.
Well, Zach, we're back after the coach's corner with Coach Danny Absher, and I want to remind if someone's just joining us that tonight our comments page, it's working for you, not working for us, so we will not be able to see it. So if you want to make comments, go to fearlessfriday.com. It's all one word, fearlessfriday.com. You should see something there.
It'll be in the 4A bulletin board material. I started a thread there, and you can just post away.
And we'll try to catch that throughout the evening as well. Zach, you've done a lot of homework on this game. I'm going to be quiet and let you roll here for a minute.
I had a good time getting ready for this one. These teams are they're very, very interesting. And when you start to break Gravette down, Gravette's very multifaceted. Maybe a bit more so than Prairie Grove is. Everybody focuses on 33, Streleski, the fine running back from Gravette. And he is a great running back. He averages 135 yards a game on the season. But against common opponents, and we're talking about 1-4A opponents, he's down to 99 yards on about 22 carries per night. What's real interesting about their offense is that they're very balanced in the passing game. They've got receivers that have 24, 23, and 22 catches. And if you look at the quarterback, Clayton, he's been kind of streaky here in conference play. He's only 4 touchdowns and 7 interceptions during conference play, but he's 14-10 on the year. I think if Prairie Grove's going to have success tonight, I think they've got to bring 8, maybe 9 guys up into the box and shut down Streleski and force Gravette to throw the football, because you and I have seen it for weeks. Prairie Grove's back 3, being Elkins, Halbert, and Christian Denton, are playing phenomenally in the back half of the defense. I think they've got to get pressure on them. I think they've got to blitz them. I think they've almost got to play keep away, because this is not going to be one of those games that's going to be real high scoring. I think we're going to have a low scoring football game, a low scoring defensive football game, And when you start to break it down, it's going to come down to turnovers and penalties, things we've talked about all year long.
Right, and turnovers has really been, and we talked about just before the coach's corner, the penalties have been the Achilles heel for Gravette so far this year. Maybe we'll have them give us a couple of gifts tonight.
Prairie Grove's been excellent in the turnover game here the last couple of weeks, but the opponents haven't been up to the standards that I think we're going to see with Gravette tonight. It's going to be really, really interesting, and it's going to be an incredibly physical football game. And I think the game's going to be won with the in the front seven with between the linebackers and the defensive line. It's a fun night. It's got a big game atmosphere. We're in a fine facility, and I'm just ready to play some football because I've been looking at stats and numbers and videotapes since Monday. Let's kick this thing off and start over.
Well, I know that one of our coaches that just came in, and he's down one. So if you saw me moving around, that's what that was all about. Zach, we're just a couple minutes away from kickoff, and tonight I think that this is a game that can set the tone for the playoffs as well. Prairie Grove, if they were to win tonight, would be on I guess that would be a 6-game winning streak going into the playoffs. A lot of confidence, and this is the type of talent, the type of teams that you're going to see at least in the second round of the playoffs going forward. So good test tonight for Prairie Grove to kind of say, hey, here's where we go as we go into the playoffs.
And I think you hope for the kind of start you got last week against Gentry. Cooper Winters was razor sharp last week. I mean, touchdown passes, and we talked about the touchdown pass that wasn't last week, and they called him for a pass that was over the line. Allegedly. I think we've both gone back and looked at that a couple of times and said there was no way. It was a great catch. But the Prairie Grove, as you heard Coach Abster say during the pregame, you're going to see them do some things differently. I think we're going to see a lot of Colby Elkins in the, if you will, the Wildcat running the spread option. I think you're going to see them throw the ball a little bit more because Gravette has some weaknesses in the back seven. And, if you can slip a Christian Denton or a John Halbert deep once or twice, I think you can really open up that running game for the Moose and Weston.
Well, I think the one thing, too, that with Prairie Grove is, and Coach Abster alluded to this as well, is that as the last few games, they've been showing a few different wrinkles, and it just makes teams have to prepare for you. I mean, it's just time out of practice that you have to prepare for.
Yeah, and Prairie Grove to this point in the season is +7 in turnover differential. Gravette's about -1 in conference play, so you'd really like to get maybe a turnover early, maybe get some heads hanging on the Gravette side, and then see if you can really put this thing away early.
Well, I'll tell you the other interesting thing, and Prairie Grove's coming out on the field, and so as we get ready tonight, I'm excited, and as you were talking just now, I could hear all in the background. Last week at Gentry,
quiet as a church.
It was quiet, and so you can hear it in the background tonight. So we're going to take you down to the field and get ready for tonight's game. And Prairie Grove's come onto the field, Gravette's onto the field. We're going to go right to this tonight. We're going to stay with you. Again, I want to remind you at the end of the game, we'll have the Steak and Shake Player of the Game, brought to you by Steak and Shake of Fayetteville. Also tonight, our comment page is not working on pgtigersonline.com, so we're redirecting you tonight to fearlessfriday.com.
I'm on there right now.
And we're going to be checking that throughout the night. Let us know what you think. We have our own thread going. Don't see anything there yet.
Not yet.
Again, go to fearlessfriday.com. You'll go down to the 4A football page, and should be able to see our thread going there.
You got a pick to click tonight? Anybody? I'll give you first crack at it. I can tell you who my pick is.
Go ahead, Zach.
I said it last week on a statewide radio show. The player of the year in the 1-4A to me is Cooper Winters, and I'll take Cooper.
Well, I think Cooper has shown a lot of pizzazz the last few weeks, and a lot. He was a starter as a sophomore, and that has really paid off throughout this year, and he gets sharper and sharper each game, and need a big game from him. Prairie Grove will be kicking off to start tonight's game, and I'll tell you what, the music's going on in the background.
We've got music, red beans and rice. What else could we possibly want on a Friday night?
Again, great facilities here at Gravette, and they've been wonderful hosts, and let's hope they give us a couple of gifts tonight on the field. All right, Landon Allen preparing to kick. That looks like Sterleski back there to receive.
Don't kick it to him.
And it's going to be a squib kick into the middle of the field and picked up. Then they hand it off to Sterleski. He's around the left side and looks like he's going to be first hit by Denton and then knocked out of bounds by John Halbert.
That's exactly how Gravette opened the game last year. With a big return from Sterleski, they ran the reverse. Prairie Grove ready for it this time. No surprises this time around.
Well, they got first down and 10. Looks like they're going to mark it at their own 29-yard line, and Again, if you're just joining us tonight, our comment page, it's working for you, but we can't see it, so we're redirecting you. If you would, go to fearlessfriday.com, go into the 4A football page, and you'll be able to, you should see a thread there called PG. Ty, what do you got it called, Zach?
It just says Prairie Grove Gravette comment thread.
Prairie Grove Gravette comment thread throughout the evening.
You can see already Prairie Grove, 9 guys in the box.
Oh, they are going to make them pass, and the first pass, that's Cooper Winters back there on the coverage, and intended for number 34. That was Dallas Curley.
It's a change. We see Cooper out on the corner. Normally Cooper's playing a deep safety spot.
Clayton Alexander, the quarterback for Gravette. Nice pass, just missed there, and Cooper just mistimed that slightly as well. It looks like he slowed down. I think he thought it was going to be a short word, and then now Prairie Grove comes out of that. And there's Sterleski, and he's hitting the backfield. That's Daniel Schrock, hits him first. Schrock hits him first, and it looks like Kurt Singer and Noah Hunter all in on the tackle, and so it's going to bring up, he picks up a couple yards, going to bring up 3rd down and 8 for the Lions.
I just don't think Prairie Grove's going to give Sterleski a chance to beat him. I think they're going to take the ball out of his hands and let Clayton Andrews try and beat him.
3rd down and 8. Gravette has trips to the right. Now Alexander back to pass. He's looking to the right, and he's going back again. Nice catch by Sterleski. Sterleski's down the right sideline here, and he's going to be hit. He breaks a tackle, and Sterleski gets down to the 15-yard line, finally brought down by John Halbert. Nice play there by Gravette.
Yep, Christian just misplayed the ball, that's all. I mean, he was in position. He just misplayed it.
Not a bad defense, not bad. He just, like you said, mistimed it. Sterleski, he gets in that open field like that. Luckily, he didn't have a lot of, he was kind of trapped by the sideline himself. And
it's a 53-yard reception. That's the longest pass play against Prairie Grove this year.
Now it's in motion is Sterleski, and going to fake hand to the second man, number 44. That is Cody Robinson. Robinson gets down to about the 10-yard line. He's tackled there. Looks like number 60, Drew Sugg, on the tackle. So Gravette gets the first big play of the game, and it was a 3rd down and 8, ball at their own 32, and a big 53-yard pass play gives them, now they're at, let's call it 2nd and 5. They're in the I formation. Sterleski, he gets the ball, and he's hit, and he is tough to bring down. That was Jacob Call got a hold of him, and he was not going to let go, and he's going to be dropped for a couple, maybe a 3-yard loss there. It's going to be 3rd and 7 for the Lions.
And now you make Gravette uncomfortable with what they do. This is not what Gravette likes to do. They like to hand the ball to Sterleski and use play action off of this.
Well, you called it earlier that Prairie Grove was going to try to go man-to-man, and that's happening again. He's under, that's Alexander, a little pressure this time. He's got time, throws it away, intended for number 31. That is Tyler Greenhaw.
Good pressure there by the front four from Prairie Grove. You chase him out again. Quarterback from Gravette is not terribly accurate. What we saw with Sterleski is he's waiting. He throws the ball up, lets his receiver make plays. He will throw the ball up for grabs.
Well, it's going to be 4th and 7. It looks like Gravette's going to go for it. I don't know what they have in as far as the kicking game, but it looks like they're lining up. They're going to have trips to the left. Noah Hunter was on the coverage that time, and now he's rolling to his left. He's going to run, and he's not going to make it. No, Prairie Grove comes up big. That is a defensive stop. That's Landon West on the tackle on Alexander. Big defensive play after a big play by Gravette. Prairie Grove holds them in the red zone.
Yeah, good. You know what? And Prairie Grove looks like they've settled down. It's you get the big shock, the 53-yard pass play, but your front four, your defense that we talked about comes up with a nice play.
Well, I got to tell you that's a big turn because the momentum went that way. Gravette, feeling it, and then Prairie Grove goes, stops on the next 3 plays. And I think the second down play to stop the Sterleski to drop him for a couple-yard loss set that up. Cooper Winters in the shotgun. He's going to hand it to, that's Weston Bartholomew. He's hit in the backfield. Number 45, Dave Anderson. Nice tackle there.
I think this is going to be low scoring. I really don't think we're going to see a lot of points tonight.
I don't know if you saw that, and I'm sure as the coaches look at this, but that play there, Cooper had a lot of running room had he pulled that ball. But, I mean, I don't know if that was a read. I think that was an actual run.
That's the sweep they run out of the wing tee. They had the guards pulling, and Cooper wasn't reading off of that. But I'll bet you we're going to see that here shortly.
Yeah, that was he had a lot of running.
That defensive end's crashing. You're going to see Cooper pull the ball out and take off.
No gain on the play on Bartholomew. Again in the shotgun. In motion is Landon West. And now Cooper, he pitches. Oh, no, it's a fumble on the play.
I think that's a forward pass.
And they're going to call that that's going to be an incomplete pass. So Prairie Grove gets a break there. You know, one of the things I noticed, we ran that play, I think it was last week, and I was always taught the pitch relationship should be about 4 to 4.5 yards. It looks like Landon's a lot farther away on that pitch.
Yeah, that's fortunate that that was actually a forward pass. I've seen a couple of those the last few weeks with my Fighting Irish get turned into touchdowns.
Well, we hear the Gravette crowd chanting LDC, which I think we found out stand for Lion Destruction Crew. And it's 3rd down and 10 for the Tigers, and Winters back to pass. It's complete to Landon West, and I think he's got the first down. Give him a good spot. Yes, he's going to have the first down just outside the 28 to about the 29-yard line.
I like that we can be as loud as we want in here.
I think we can too. It feels like
it's soundproof in here.
I'm going to have to find out because I'm getting pretty loud in here tonight. So.
After last week having to do this in the church, it was real nice.
I want to remind you, go to fearlessfriday.com, look for the PG or the Prairie Grove Gravette thread. Let us know. Cooper just dropped the ball. He rolled out and just dropped it there at about the 25-yard line. Luckily, he falls on it. That is I guess that's our first fumble. We had earlier an incomplete pass. So 2nd down, going to lose probably 4 yards. Going to be 2nd down and 14 for the Tigers.
Everybody seems a little nervous. You know, you figure after that first shot, everybody gets it kind of out of their system, but everybody's real nervous right now.
You know, this is our big, there's big college football games this weekend. This is our big game.
This is the big game we have. I've been looking forward to this game since Monday.
All right, so we have a 2nd down and 14 for the Tigers. They're in their wing tee this time. Winters rolling to his left. He throws complete to Christian Denton, and he breaks an initial tackle there. Nice hit by Dallas Curley, but Denton kind of broke out of the tackle and steps out of bounds at about the 33. So we're going to call it 3rd and 6 for the Tigers.
I'm going to be careful here. Nothing risky. It's not a bad thing to punt the football here. You know, if you're open, throw it. If not, pull it down and run it. I like to spread them wide here and run Cooper on that quarterback draw that we've seen a couple of times.
3rd down and 6 for the Tigers. Winters rolling to his right. He's got time, throws. Nice
play.
Defensive play. I didn't see who knocked it down. That's Sterleski. And he had Landon open, but Sterleski timed the ball really well, was able to knock it away. That's going to bring on the punting unit for the Tigers.
I'm already tired of calling Sterleski's name.
Well, I will tell you that, if we got to call it on offense and defense, it's going to be tough.
It's going to be a long night.
Well, it's 4th down. Prairie Grove got the ball at their own 33. The thing is, I think after the big play for Prairie Grove to be able to maybe flip the field a little bit, nice work considering giving up a big play and now Winters to punt. Winters, not much of a rush. High kick, not a very deep kick. It's a high kick, fielded at about the 38 and going to be brought. That's Nick Sugg. And I can't see the other number that got him there. And looks like Daniel Schrock, Call, and Sugg. That was the sophomore Nick Sugg on the tackle. Well, Gravette will take back over for their 2nd possession. This time they start at their own 38. Last time they started at the 30. So we are 7 minutes, 25 seconds to go here in the first quarter.
You know, this is one of those games you almost want to play Where's Waldo. You start looking for Sterleski. You want to identify him, know exactly where he is, because he's going to get the ball. I mean, you know that.
Well, he's out in the slot this time, and empty backfield. Now he goes in motion. Lines up at the halfback position. He's got a little hole there. Sterleski, he may be gone. Nope. And there is Colby Elkins. Sterleski gets down to the 23-yard line. Big run there by Sterleski. caught by Elkins. Elkins has got some speed, and so does Sterleski, but I think Elkins caught him there from behind, so good play there to catch him. He broke. The one thing that's dangerous when you put that many guys in the box is if you break that initial line, you've got some running room, and he did.
Again, you got to identify him, know exactly where he is. He's going to be their main. He's going to touch the ball at least 25 times tonight. You know that.
Well, the second time that the Lions have the ball in Tiger territory, and he's going to pick up maybe a yard on the play, Sterleski, on that carry. It looks like they're having more success him off tackle. That way they went right over the guard and not much there.
Yeah, it's tough to make a living running the ball up the middle against Jacob Call and Kurt Singer. It's just tough to do.
Alexander in the shotgun, and he's looking quick past number 31. He makes a little move there. Jaron Murphy had him there for a minute, but he breaks away. Number 31, that is Tyler Greenhaw. Greenhaw gets down to about the, let's call it the 18. Well, no, they're going to mark it down around the 15, so it's going to bring up 3rd down and 2. And if they went forward on 4th and 7 a while ago, we can assume that they're definitely in 4-down territory.
I think we're definitely in 4-down territory, but, this is where Prairie Grove's defense has traditionally stiffened. They turned them away once, and, big play here on defense. You could force them into a 4th and long. Yep.
3rd down. Sterleski comes back. He's going to get the ball on the handoff here.
Same play they just ran.
That misdirection play. Number 52, Kurt Singer, and Noah Hunter on the tackle. But that's the play right there. The little misdirection is he's getting that extra half step, and he picks up the 1st down. 1st and goal. Ball at the Prairie Grove 8. So Gravette for the second time in the red zone. Can Prairie Grove come up big defensively? 1st and goal from the 8.
Identify 33. He's playing deep in the pistol.
I imagine if it ain't broke. Oh, and they catch him in the backfield. Landon West, he's going to hit him back around the 10-yard line. Loss of 2. Let's see where they spot it. They're going to spot it. Looks like they're going to mark him at the 9. Loss of a yard. 2nd down and goal from the 9. Yeah, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. They look like they're going to go with Sterleski, and now it's 2nd goal from the 9. This time he keeps it, but he's sacked. He fumbles it. Oh, nice play by Alexander. He got lucky on the bounce. They had him wrapped up. Jaron Murphy had him wrapped up. He dropped the ball, went right back up in his hands, Zach, and then he was able to get it away.
We have instant replay in this league.
Boy, that was a heads-up play by Alexander, the Lion quarterback. So it's 3rd and goal from the 9.
This is where Gravette's not comfortable. Prairie Grove is getting a great pass rush. So the front 4 is doing their job, and you can see 2 or 3 guys reacting to wherever Sterleski goes. I can imagine they're probably going to go back to the play-action game here shortly.
Well, watch the draw play here, because Sterleski, if he could break that initial, and no, they're going to go, and they're going to go to the corner. It's going to be... He got it. Touchdown for the Lions. Jordan Lundholm on the reception. That was...
It's a good throw, good catch, good adjustment to the ball. Ball's a little bit behind him, but good adjustment by Lundholm. There's not much you can do when you throw a perfect fade.
Halbert had pretty decent coverage that time, but nice play. And now the kicker, Kevin Amisika. He's a left footer. Amisika on the kick. It looks like it's right through the uprights, and with 4 minutes and 48 seconds remaining here in the first quarter, the score is Gravette 7, Prairie Grove 0. Well, Zach, this is the first time in a few weeks that Prairie Grove has trailed.
Yeah, and it'll be interesting to see how they react. But you can't stop. We know Gravette's going to make plays. We know that coming in. And Sterleski, and he's a talented player. I think you've just got to settle down. You got to realize that this is a 4-quarter game. This game's not going to be won here in the first quarter. Prairie Grove's got to come up with an answer here now.
Well, I think the thing with the play that made that great play to score. But the play before that, whenever he was able to get an incomplete pass instead of a sack, was probably even bigger. Looks like Christian Denton's going to get it there. And that's Colby Elkins. He's got some room around the left side. Elkins at the 50, the 40. He's going to go 30, 15, 10, 5. Give him 6. Prairie Grove has already tied this, or they've already got right back in this game.
What did I say? They had to answer. They had to answer right there. And that is my man, Colby Elkins. Been calling for him to get the ball all year long.
There are high five slapping here in the Prairie Grove webcast box. And with this extra point by Landon Allen, and we can be tied right back.
Yeah, that'll take some of the wind out of the Gravette crowd a little bit, and it'll take some of the wind out of the sails of the Gravette the team. But I mean, if you want to answer, that's the quickest way to do it. Haven't seen the star return this year, the multiple fakes and handoffs. We've got Jack Reynolds coming on late.
Let's see here. Somebody's pushing him around, trying to get him in the right spot. Landon Allen to attempt the extra point. The place kick is down. It is.
Don't call it.
Good. And with 4 minutes and 36 seconds, it didn't take long for Prairie Grove to answer. Our score, Prairie Grove 7, Gravette 7. It's been exciting already. Let's take a quick break. We'll be right back with you.
The Bank of Fayetteville, it's a bank, right? It offers all the services that banks offer: checking, savings, commercial loans, personal loans. They even have trust services, and they offer financial planning. And amidst all of this, they've even stepped into the new age, and they offer online banking. But with all of this progress and all these services, they still offer something the other guys have seemingly forgot. They know you by your name, and they treat you with good old-fashioned customer service. The Bank of Fayetteville, with offices in Fayetteville, West Fork, Farmington, and Prairie Grove. So you're having a fundraiser, but you don't want the same old, and you want a project that is turnkey, and you want a product that is fun and flavorable. By the way, that's a brand spanking new word. Well, think Ozark's Delight Lollipops. It's unique, it's fun, and it's highly successful, and a great way to raise some funds and have some fun doing it. Did I mention that it's flavorable? Check out the website, ozarkdelight.com, or call them at 1-800-334-8991. Ozark Delights, America's #1 fundraising lollipop, says go Tigers.
Okay, we're back. I want to remind those that are watching that tonight the comment page is working for you, but we can't see it. And so if you need to make a comment, or we'd love for you to make a comment, go to Fearless Friday, fearlessfriday.com. Go to the 4A page. It'll be down at the bottom, and then go look for PG or Prairie Grove Gravette comment page, so or comments, and so you'll see it. There's number 31. He's going to be brought down. That is Brandon Taylor. Brings down Greenhaw. Again, fearlessfriday.com.
Yeah, you'll go to the forums, then you'll go to the 4A bulletin board page. There's a thread that I opened. It says Prairie Grove v. Gravette comment page. You can go over there, and you can communicate with us. And isn't that the way you want to spend your Friday night?
Well, I'll tell you what, this has been a great start to a game, and living up to a lot of the expectations that we had, both teams with some fireworks. Greenhaw around the left side. He's got a little bit of running room. Prairie Grove stretched it out pretty well. He's going to pick up maybe 5 yards. He's brought down by Call. They'll spot him at the 32-yard line. It's going to be a pickup at, let's call that 6 yards. It's going to be 2nd down and 4 for Gravette. He stretched it. Prairie Grove stretched it out, and then Greenhaw made a nice cut up field, and
that's what you're looking for out of the speed sweep. Is you're just looking for a seam, and Greenhaw cut it up, and it's nice to see somebody other than Strzelecki carry the ball.
And that's going to be Sugg. Sugg moved, and that's going to give the Lions a 1st down. Well, the good thing is he didn't hit anyone to get any kind of personal foul. He just came across. 5-yard step off against the Tigers, and it's going to be 1st and 10 for the Lions. Now, the interesting thing here, Zach, while we don't keep this in our stats, Prairie Grove defense has been on the field a lot here in the 1st quarter. And there's Strzelecki. That's been the whole fumble, and Christian Denton's going to get the ball. I think Christian, unless he lost it there at the end and someone pulled it from him, Strzelecki breaks over. That right side has been where they have had the success. You know, they got it back. Gravette got it back. I'll tell you what happened there, Zach. Denton had the ball, And, when those people come in, I think they got down at the bottom and he lost it because
Christian's not the biggest guy in the world, and when the big uglies get down there and start pulling at the football.
Because the ball was right in his hands, and, by the time the refs can get over there, you fight underneath there, and the Gravette Lions did, and they get the ball at the Prairie Grove 43-yard line. So, 1st and 10 for the Lions. They're in Prairie Grove territory for the 3rd consecutive time, and there's 44. Elkins takes him down at about the 30-yard line. 44 is Cody Robinson. When you key on a player like Sterleski all night, those guys can pop one.
That was just a fullback trap. Obviously, Prairie Grove's committing at least 2 guys to Sterleski, and Robinson gets up in there and makes a nice little run. It warms my heart. I've run that play many, many times in my life.
Empty backfield this time, and Robinson's going to come back to the back position. Greenhaw in motion, and this time Robinson again, same play, and it's up the middle. And when Colby Elkins is making all the tackles in the secondary, that's not a good thing.
Not a good sign.
They're down to the Prairie Grove right about the 12-yard line, I guess. Well, nope, spotted it at the 10, so that's going to be, is the ball on the 10?
Just shy of the 10.
Just shy of the 10, so they can get a first down, or without getting a touchdown. Empty backfield again. In motion is Sterleski. He's had a couple of plays where he got a break, so they go back to him. And
there's that counter.
And this time, Prairie Grove was waiting on it, and he's going to get nothing there. Jared Murphy gets the ball out of there, and he wants to go for another touchdown.
Yeah. I don't think Prairie Grove's going to let Sterleski beat them tonight. I think you're going to see 2 or 3 guys pretty much wherever he goes.
The right side of the ball on their right side has been where he has had success. And it looks like to open up the holes there for number 77, Brennan Webb. Brennan Webb's the center, and then 52, T.J. Holt.
We've got somebody watching from Michigan tonight.
And they're going to the end zone again. That's going to be overthrown, so it's going to be 3rd down and 10. I think I might know who that is, Zach.
It says band nerd.
If it's band nerd, that means he's only been on Fearless Friday once, but that's all right. I believe that's a good friend of mine. Appreciate him watching tonight. It's 3rd down, goal from the 10. I guess that's not goal. 3rd and 10 from about the 10.5. Sterleski's in motion, and Alexander going across the middle. That's Greenhaw. He's going to get down to about the 4 or 5 yard line, so that's going to bring up 4th down. And the question is, do you go for a field goal here and get points? Because if you get turned away, this is their 3rd time. They're going to go for a field goal here. It looks like Amisika is going to come in for the.
Yeah, I think Prairie Grove's going to have to mix up what they're doing with Sterleski, because everywhere he goes, they're reacting. And on that play, they had Sterleski come in motion. They ran the rocket screen underneath, and if he breaks 1 tackle, he's gone.
Well, the field goal try is going to be about a 23, 24-yarder, and that's right through the center. And with 1 minute and 22 seconds remaining here in the first quarter, and yeah, the clock kept running. It shouldn't have been, and that's 1:18. The Lions lead 10-7. We'll come back to you right after this break.
There's been a Davis at the counter of Sterling Drugs since before most of us were born. As a matter of fact, Sterling Drugs been at the same location in Prairie Grove since 1918. And while a lot has changed in the medical field, quality customer care is not one of them at Sterling Drug. You'll find the latest in all prescriptions explained to you by Gary Davis. He's been doing it for nearly 30 years. As a matter of fact, Gary's only going to charge you for the medication. His experience, he's going to throw that in for free. Keeping you healthy since 1918. Sterling Drug, 125 East Buchanan in Prairie Grove, proud sponsors of Prairie Grove Athletics.
Okay, we're back with you, and Gravette has been the beneficiary of being inside Prairie Grove territory. They've had the ball 3 times. They've got 10 points, and they've been in Prairie Grove territory each time. Another kick. Denton's going to take it again. This time Denton, he had like he was going to take a knee, and then he goes forward. He's going to get up to about the 35-yard line. Gravette has had some big plays here in the first quarter.
179 yards in total offense so far for Gravette. Prairie Grove's defense on the year, 219-yard average.
So they're
moving.
Well, two big plays. One's a 53 yards, another probably 30-something yard play. So been big plays tonight. But if you call this a boxing match, Prairie Grove's taking a couple of tough hits, and they're still up fighting. There is Daniel Schrock. That's his first carry tonight. He's hitting the backfield. Number 21, Glenn Overturf, on the tackle. The Prairie Grove.
I think Prairie Grove needs to possess the ball for a little bit here. They've, as you said, they've taken some heavy shots here. They've only had one possession and to move the ball about 21 yards. So, be nice to possess the ball for a little bit, get some points out of this drive, and I still think you gotta put it in 15's hands. He's your leader.
It's 2nd down and 10 for the Tigers. This time it's Bartholomew. He's got a little running room. Bartholomew's over the 40. He's going to be close to the first down. I think, wow, he's going to be close, been on the spot. It looks from here that he's got it. They're going to measure. You know, the official over here marked it a little close to the 45. When the other guy put it down, he put it a little far away. It's going to be close, but I think if he doesn't have it, he's going to be less than
inches away. Yeah, I think just looking at the sticks, I think he's just a little bit short.
Well, with 24.4 seconds to go here in the first quarter, it's been a very exciting football game already. Prairie Grove trailing 10-7. If you join us again, go to fearlessfriday.com, and he got the first down. The nose of the football was there.
Yeah, when you go to Fearless Friday, you'll have to sign in. You'll have to get an account. It's real easy. It takes about 20 seconds. You'll get a username, and then you can chat with us. Like I said, boy, what a better. Can you spend a Friday night in a better way than hanging out with us?
Our
wives don't even hang out with us on Friday nights.
We again apologize. Our comment page is working for you, but for us, because we're going through the Gravette school system, they have things like YouTube, and some of the comment pages unable to run from here. So that's the reason that
Mark Zuckerberg and Bill Gates are formally protesting.
1st and 10 for the Tigers.
There's
in motion is Halbert. And Halbert now on the pitch. And, whoa, that was a... Halbert breaks one tackle, but he's not going to get any more than that. That play, and I know I've harped on this, that pitch is just too far of a pitch.
Yeah, they're out of sync on that play. And I know you understand what they're trying to do is they're trying to get some of their quicker guys out on the outside, but it's just not working. It hasn't worked the 3 times they've run it. And I think that was a Jamel Holloway style pitch, from the hash mark to the numbers.
Well, there we go. That is the end of the first quarter. With our score, the Gravette Lions 10, Prairie Grove Tigers 7.
How do you tell someone that they're special?
Flowers and Friends.
How do you tell someone that they're loved?
Flowers and Friends.
How do you tell someone happy anniversary?
Flowers and Friends.
And how do you express your deepest sympathy?
Flowers and Friends.
In Prairie Grove, when your message needs to be expressed with flowers, be it fresh-cut flowers or one-of-a-kind silk arrangement, think Flowers and Friends or drop by 114 East Buchanan, or you can call them at 846-2137. Flowers and Friends, flowers, gifts, and more with that hometown touch.
We're back with you here, and after a quarter of play, Prairie Grove trailing 10-7, and I can see tonight why you hear a lot of stuff that Gravette could, in spite of the 2 losses, be maybe the most talented team in the conference. And 3 times they've had the ball, 3 times they've been in Prairie Grove territory, all 3 times in the red zone, and so
179 yards. That's all you need to know. This Prairie Grove defense has been dominant in conference play. 179 yards in the first quarter. Prairie Grove 26. But
we did have a kickoff return for probably about 65 yards. So
despite being outplayed for 12 minutes, this is it doesn't feel like they're out of the football game. You get a score here. Heck, you got the lead, or you tie it or get the lead.
2nd down and 10 for the Tigers. Winters rolls to his left. He's got some time, and he throws. Almost intercepted by number 22, Jordan Lundholm. Lundholm's the one who caught the touchdown pass for the Lions.
Yeah, Cooper had Landon right off the when he ran the quick out. He had him. He missed him. Should have pulled that ball down and just run with it.
Well, it's a big 3rd down for Prairie Grove, and need to hold the ball. Another first down or two would be good just to give the defense a little bit of rest. Each time third down comes, the crowd starts chanting LDC, standing for the Lion Destruction Crew, and empty backfield, third down and 10 for the Tigers. Winters again rolling to his left. He's going to throw, and it's intercepted by Greenhaw. If you tackle him there, it's almost as good as a punt, but they're going to get the ball at the 31-yard line, and a turnover by Prairie Grove. Greenhaw makes a very nice play there. Greenhaw, he's a senior, 5'7", 168, and he's not awfully big, but that was a nice interception. And
never
take over about the
never throw the ball late down the middle. Never throw it late down the middle.
Well, Prairie Grove's defense back out on the field.
You've got to get a stop here and get the ball back in your offense's hands. I mean, you had a nice drive going. You just stalled on second down and then put yourself third and long behind the chains, and that's just not what Prairie Grove does very well.
Alexander, the quarterback, in the I formation. Sterleski, he's going to get the tackle. He's hit. He breaks the tackle and then comes back, gets a couple yards. First hit by Sugg. Murphy also helping out. Kurtzinger. Those front line for Prairie Grove has had a very good season. They've been very good on defense, and Sterleski has got not his yards there between the two guards. He's run a couple there, but when he gets off tackle on the little counter play, Zach, that's been the one that's broken for him.
Yeah, he doesn't go down with the first shot. He's tough to tackle. He's a lot like Weston in that regard.
Well, Alexander got a man open, overthrows. Cody Robinson had a lot of room if he could have got it to him, and Alexander was rolling to his left that time.
Let him go. He should have stayed with him and he did make the throw difficult. He had to throw it up and over him. And as I said earlier, Alexander's not terribly accurate. He's just he just seems to get the job done. It's uncanny to watch some of the throws that he makes. You sit there and you scratch your head, but somehow they get completed.
Well, he's got third down and 9 here. Prairie Grove needs a defensive stop, and now Call was showing a blitz, and looks like he checked out.
Man, almost press man-to-man across the board.
And the high snap, and there it's intercepted. No, they're going to call a pass interference. So Prairie Grove, even though Elkins got the interception,
I think they're going to get Noah for.
They're going to get Noah Hunter for hitting there, and that's going to give them a first down. Tough break there for the Tigers. I don't even think he was the guy. It was too far.
Yeah, they got him for holding.
Well, the hold will be a 10-yard step off, I believe, instead of a 15. Or I think the pass interference would have been 15. But regardless, it's going to give him a first down.
Penalties and turnovers. It's just tough on a third and long on a play where your safety makes the play.
And the thing is, he just threw it up for grabs. I get the hold. I'm not going to complain about officiating there, but the ball wasn't even near the guy that they called on. I mean, he wasn't going to catch it. But it is a penalty. It is 10 yards. That's going to be enough for Gravette first down. So the Gravette Lions got the ball. First and 10 now at their own 42. Prairie Grove had a nice defensive 3 plays there, and then the penalty gives the Lions a first down. So first and 10, ball at their own 42. This time it looks like motion. This time looks like it's going to be on the Lions. I think Sterleski was moving. Looks like he was moving. Looks like he's going a little forward there just prior to the snap, and refs got it. So that's going to be first and 15 again. Now Prairie Grove needs to take advantage of this penalty here. It's first and long. Make these second and longs happen. So don't give a big play here, Prairie Grove. Play good defense.
Find 33, play the Where's Waldo game. Find 33, locate him, and start your defense there.
Empty backfield, and now Sterleski comes back to the halfback position. He's going to get the ball, and he's going to be tackled near the line of escape. He may have picked up a couple yards. That's Kurtzinger And I believe that's Kurtzinger and Call. Well, no, Kurtzinger and Sugg on the tackle. 10 minutes, 31 seconds. Gravette leads Prairie Grove 10-7. Again, go to fearlessfriday.com. Go to the forums. Let us know if you're watching tonight. Our comment page working for you. We can't see it ourselves. Oh, there's a hole down here on the right side, and he's gone. He's gone. That's Greenhaw, and that's going to be a touchdown for the Gravette Lions. If you give that much time, Zach, to throw the football, you're going to score. And now,
well, John Halbert just misplayed it. He was there. He was in position. He just misjudged it, and it's the second ball that they've misjudged when it's gone up in the air. And the quarterback, he's going to throw the ball up. He's going to throw it up for grabs. You just got to go get it when it's there.
Well, Gravette is striking quick and early. They have scored 3 out of the 4 times they've had the football. The extra point attempt is up on the way, and it is good. With 10 minutes to go here in the second quarter, Gravette has stretched their lead 17-7.
Where in Prairie Grove can you go to get your gas, grab a tank of propane, a bag of ice, your favorite snack, and a soda drink, have your breakfast or lunch prepared fresh, made to order, wash that down with your favorite drink, and follow that with a hand-dipped ice cream? There's only one place that I know of that comes close to all of that in Prairie Grove. Locally owned and operated, it has to be Frederick's One Stop. And did I mention the coffee breaks in the afternoon where all the world's problems are solved? Only at Frederick's One Stop. Proud to be sponsors of Prairie Grove Tiger Athletics. Where in Prairie Grove can you go to get your gas, grab a tank of propane, a bag of ice, your favorite snack, and a...
We're back with you, and Gravette has just scored again and stretched the lead to 17-7, and Prairie Grove really needs to get something on offense. They've kind of been held in check. I guess they probably got 1 first down, 2 first downs in the game.
To this point, 2 first downs and 26 yards. That's you're not going to win a lot of football games doing that.
And I guess Gravette's probably over 200 yards already tonight.
241.
Which is over Prairie Grove's game average. That a squib kick, and Christian Denton's going to get it to 30 and drop right about where he gets the ball. And the momentum, you can feel it. So Prairie Grove, to get something here, they need to get something going to get some momentum into this game. You know, in high school football, college football, momentum is so much, the adrenaline gets flowing. And
got to possess the football for a little bit. That's, it's 17-7. 1 score, you're back in the game, but, you got to get some things straightened out on defense, and you've got to start hanging on to the football and possessing the football, put some points on the board. You can't rely on your special teams to give you all your points.
Well, Gravette has made big plays tonight. I mean, 2 of their touchdowns were set up by big plays. 1 touchdown was a big play. There is Schrock. He's up the middle, and Schrock, he's going to just go straight forward 10 yards. That's his second carry, and that one was a little better.
A little bit more of that would be nice.
Prairie Grove needs to have a nice ball control drive, trailing 17-7. Remind you, coming up at halftime, we'll have the Prairie Grove band. We'll probably even stick with you for the Gravette band tonight. And now Cooper Winters rolling to his right. He's got plenty of time. He's got wide open is Landon West. Landon hauls it in down around the 23-yard line, and a big play for the Tigers.
I'll tell you what, that's one of those plays where you go, no, yes! I didn't like it when he let it go, but, great catch by Landon. Somebody needed to get up and make a play, and, Landon fortunately was able to hang on to the ball. It was a tough catch because the ball was going away from him.
Yeah, and, if it had, we got a good play. Had he been able to catch it without falling, he may have gotten a touchdown out of that.
Well, we've talked about it before. Landon's he's related to Nathan.
I saw his dad on the way in. I said, "You're gonna have to go watch these. Zach is cracking on you every week almost." 1st and 10 for the Tigers. Ball in the red zone about the 18. There's Bartholomew. He's got a little running room there. Bartholomew's going to just barrel his way down inside the 10 to about the 9-yard line. And this is what Prairie Grove needed. They needed a drive. They needed to move the ball.
If for no other reason than just pure confidence.
What I've seen so far tonight, Gravette is a very good football team. No doubt about that. Gravette is a very good football team. But they make big plays in Prairie Grove. Prairie Grove, we have some. I'm sorry for the stop there. We had some lights going on and off in here. There's Schrock. He's going to go forward. He's going to be close to the first down, depending on the spot.
Yes.
Is there a reason you turn the lights off, Zach?
I can't see. I'm old and I'm blind and I can't see.
Well, the Tigers get the first down. It's going to be 1st and goal. You can turn it off. Yeah, I'm fine.
All right. The glare from the windows or my bad eyes, I'm not sure which one it is.
Well, it's 1st and goal. The ball at the 7. Prairie Grove. Definitely in the range of Lane and Allen, but we need 6.
Yeah, I think boy, you get down to third and goal here. I don't know what you do. Glad it's not my call.
Now in motion is Colby Elkins, and they're going to give it to Elkins. Get out there, Colby, get a cut. And Colby's going to be a tough. Yeah, if he got to the range of the line of scrimmage, I'll be surprised. Actually, they moved the chain up maybe a half a yard, so second down and maybe 6.5 to go for the touchdown. 7 minutes, 35 seconds. Prairie Grove trailing 17-7. They're on the move. They're inside the 10. If you're just joining us, Prairie Grove's first touchdown came off of a touchdown return on the kickoff after Gravette scored. Here we go, second down, and Cooper Winters makes a good play, throws complete down to about the 5. It's going to be complete. I believe that is Schrock. That was a very athletic play there by Cooper Winters.
Yeah, he had a chance to run that one, and I thought he was going to take off instead of throwing to Schrock. Boy, he had a lane.
Well, it's 3rd and goal from the 5. Prairie Grove needs 6, Zach. I mean, the way that Gravette has moved the ball and the big plays they've made, we really need 6. The chant of LDC in the background, that's what you hear. In motion is Landon West. Quick pitch out to Bartholomew. Oh, Bartholomew's going to get to about the 3. He's not going to make it, so it's going to be 4th. This is about an extra point, and he's going to bring Landon Allen in to try the field goal here. We really need Landon to knock this one down. This would bring us within a touchdown, and it's nothing more than really an extra point, except for it's going to be on a hash.
You know, they had a fake set up last week against Gentry, and they got a motion penalty on it. I wonder, depending on who's playing on the wing.
I would think
Schrock. Now, he had Denton when he tried that earlier.
Well, we've had a couple blocks, so this is important to get this. Kick is down, and he missed it. It's off to the left. And that was a missed opportunity there, Zach. Well, Gravette plays tough defense inside the 10-yard line, and our kicking game, which has been a weapon for us most of this year, did not deliver on that particular time.
He just yanked that one left, just like a bad golf shot.
You know, in high school football, you kick a lot from the middle of the field. You don't kick a lot from the hash. And he was off to the hash, and I bet he pushed it a little bit.
So, boy, you'd like to have that back, wouldn't you?
Well, the 3rd down call, if we could have got just probably another yard or 2, we may have gone for it. But now it is 1st and 10 for Gravette, and boy, Prairie Grove needs a defensive stop here. Quick pitch out to Sterleski, and he's going to go for about 6 or 7 yards. Brought down by Jared Murphy. 5 minutes, 40 seconds to go here in the first half. Prairie Grove trailing 17-7.
Boy, this is critical here. You've got to get the ball back with no points scored. You go down even 20-7 at this point. You're, like I said, if you get down 2 scores here, neither of these teams is geared for a large comeback.
There's Sterleski, and he's going to be hit right around the line of scrimmage. About maybe even lost a yard back to the 25, so it's going to be 3rd down and 5, and Prairie Grove needs a 3 and out here, Zach.
Here we are, another 3rd down.
They've had breaks on 3rd down tonight.
3 out of 5 on 3rd downs.
Boy, the Tigers had a nice drive, and gosh, it just like they've gotten some points. So 3rd down and 5. Alexander, shotgun. He's going to throw. He's in trouble. He's going to be sacked. Back around the 20-yard line. He's brought down. That's number 63 for the Tigers. That is Jack Reynolds. Reynolds, big sack for Prairie Grove. So Prairie Grove should get the ball in good field position and have another opportunity here before the half to score. Halbert and Bartholomew is going to be back for the Tigers. Need some points here before the half. Prairie Grove does get the ball to Sark in the second half tonight, Zach. Halbert goes sprinting over to the left side. There's stop here. There's a clock stop. Not sure what's going on. Was there a flag down?
Not sure what they're... Oh, no.
Illegal substitution, 5 yards against the Tigers.
Just things you can't have happen.
What are they doing?
It's the that's what you see most of the colleges running.
They're going to call. Prairie Grove's going to have to call timeout here.
It's just a spread punt formation with a wall.
Well, we're going to take the timeout with them. With 4:16 to go, Prairie Grove trails 17-7.
Since 1947, there's been a Lewis at the helm of Lewis Automotive. It's family-owned, family-operated by a family that calls Prairie Grove home. Now, you do the math. They'll soon be entering their 65th year of service. 65 years. You don't go that far in any one business without treating people good, and I mean real good. As a matter of fact, Ford awarded Lewis Ford their coveted President's Award, one of the top dealerships in the nation, run by hometown folks. Lewis Automotive is a proud sponsor of Prairie Grove Tiger football.
All right, the Tigers are... I guess what happened is it must have been a timeout. He must have called a timeout before the penalty. And that had to be probably what... Well, that was kind of strange, Zach, but we'll take it.
We get one a week, don't we?
4th and 10 for Gravette. Halbert. Nice coverage there by the Gravette Lions, and Halbert's going to... Well, Prairie Grove will at least start it in Gravette Lion territory at the 49. 4 minutes to go here in the first half, and Zach, critical here, because if you score here and you don't leave much time, then you're going to have the opportunity to get the ball back to start second half. So big opportunity here for the Tigers.
Points is all you need. It doesn't matter if it's a field goal or a touchdown. You need points here so you can get the ball back to start the second
Even
half.
a safety.
We'll take a safety at this point. I'm big on the 20 for 20. Let's get Weston the football. He's had a couple of nice runs. He's done some nice things in the rush game. He's got 4 carries for 18 yards. I think it's time to get him involved in the running game.
In motion is Landon West, and there is Schrock right up the middle. Schrock's going to go about 7 or 8 yards, and Schrock's probably close to about 30 yards, isn't he? I would think maybe 4 or 5.
That would be his 5th carry, and if you give me a second here, I'll get you an exact number. That would be his 5th carry for 21 yards.
Wow.
But Prairie Grove, to this point, 12 carries, 34 yards total. It's just not a Prairie Grove-like night.
2nd down and 4 for the Tigers. Boy, we moved. I don't think they saw that. There's Bartholomew. He's going to just crash right on in. He's going to get the first down inside the 40 at about the 38-yard line.
That'll make up for the holding call on the touchdown pass.
Well, yeah. That, not only was it a hold, he laid on him.
Yeah.
First and 10 for the Tigers. Ball at the Lion 38. 3 minutes, 16 seconds to go in the first half.
Got some folks down in Dumas watching us. Boy, we got folks all over the state.
And there is Schrock right up the middle. He's going to gain 8 or 9 again. Again, if you're watching, please go to fearlessfriday.com. Go to the forums page, the 4A, and then there's a Gravette versus Prairie Grove comment page. Got a lot of people on watching. Appreciate you watching us tonight.
Let us know where you are. This has now gone statewide. You know that.
Get upfield. Come on, Bartholomew. Bartholomew, he's going to go.
Down.
got the first down. Ball's going to be inside the 30 at about the 27-yard line.
Wendell Robinson, appreciative of the Gravette throwback pass, said it was a busted play.
Well, but good teams, they make busted plays work. This is Gravette is so far. Gravette is what I've thought they were. They're disciplined. They play hard. They hit hard. They're tough against the run. Sterleski, he's a player. So everything that I thought they would be, they are.
I'm just loving the press box. This is awesome.
There is Landon West, and Landon. We haven't run this play a lot, but Landon's going to get about 5 yards. He's going to be down close to the 20. Prairie Grove really needs something on this drive.
That play just stops the pursuit, stops the guys on the backside from chasing Weston down when we're running the sweep or the traps.
It does. It gives opportunity. You mix that up a little bit. I still would like to see Colby Elkins a little bit in motion because he's got some good speed. And 2nd down and 5 for the Tigers. And there's right up the middle is going to be, and that's tough running there for Bartholomew. He's going to pick up 3, maybe 4. He's going to be a yard or 2 short of the first down. Looks like number 56 for the Lion. Is that 56? 66. Number 66, Cody Johnson. He comes hobbling off a little bit. I think he was actually in on the tackle that time. It's going to be 3rd down and about a yard. We're down to 1 minute and 9 seconds, and the Tigers are going to have to take a timeout here. And that timeout on the punt a while ago now, Zach, kind of looms big with 1 minute and 8 seconds.
Bite you a little bit. So we've got a gentleman named Code 3 Cat watching us from Dumas, Arkansas. We're corner to corner, aren't we?
Well, Zach, we know tonight. I know Fearless Friday is very popular for football, basketball forums. I read a lot of that and get a lot of fodder for our discussions each week. But it's great. We know that each week I have an opportunity to go out and look at our analytics. We've hit 37 states this year already.
Yes, we have.
We got to beat last year's record. Last year's record was 46. So after we hit basketball season, we'll get close.
Yeah, apparently Weston getting some inside information. Weston been a little under the weather this week.
Oh,
he's still running hard. We like that.
Well, the thing that Weston does is when he gets the ball and he sees the guys coming, he lowers his head and goes forward. Yeah. You don't see him. I mean, he gets knocked back, but he runs with a lot of body lean. He always kind of goes forward.
If only he was 6'2", 220. If we could put Weston in Jared Murphy's body, boy, we'd have something, wouldn't we?
Well, I'll tell you what. Prairie Grove here needs to get the first down, and then as they stop the clock to move the chains, they got to get moving.
Got a big fan watching in Monticello. Thank you, sir.
All right, we've got 3rd down and a yard for the Tigers. 1 minute, 11 seconds to go here in the first half. Prairie Grove trailing 17-7. If you just joined us, Gravette scored 3 out of their first 4 times they had the football. Prairie Grove's only touchdown came after the first Gravette touchdown, about a 65-yard touchdown
74.
return. 74-yard touchdown return on the kickoff. And then Prairie Grove last time had the ball, was stopped at the 4. They tried a field goal. It went off to the left, and we're sitting at 17-7. And Gravette has had some big plays, and there's stoppage on the field for something, and they're down to. They took a second off the clock. It was 1 minute 9. They went to minute 11. Now it's 1 minute 10. That was a quick, and now get upfield. Weston's. He's at the 10. 5. Give him 6. Prairie Grove scores with 1 minute and 3 seconds to go here in the first half.
Hey, that was a great call by Coach Abster. Quick snap, get the ball to Weston. Gravette's jumping around, can't get themselves set, and you know as well as I do, once Weston gets on the corner, there's nobody who's going to catch him.
Well, Bartholomew, he gets Prairie Grove close, and remember, Prairie Grove gets the ball to start the second half. Very critical. They don't give up a big play in the last minute and 3 seconds
you
here.
Just jinxed us.
I do it every week. Again, those watching, go to fearlessfriday.com, forum page, 4A, and Gravette versus or Prairie Grove versus Gravette comment page. Here's Landon. Landon, let's get this in. Get your confidence back up. The extra point, it's right down the middle. It's good. And with 1 minute and 3 seconds to go here in the first half, Prairie Grove trails now 17-14. We'll be back right after this.
Ozark Delight Lollipops are America's #1 fundraising lollipop. We produce our lollipops the old-fashioned way in small batches, ensuring flavor intensity to the last lick. Mass-produced, machine-made lollipops are simply inferior, and you and your customers can taste the difference. From the production to customer service to everything in between, Ozark's Delight does it right. So whether you're ordering for the next fundraising project or just need some of your favorite flavors, we're here to help. Click our website, ozarkdelight.com, or call us toll-free at 1-800-334-8991.
17-14, 1 minute, 3 seconds to go, and
I think we're getting what we expected. A little bit higher scoring than I think we expected, but good, tough, physical football game. And man, this is a great Friday night, isn't it? It's going to be a lot of fun next week, this week. I love this.
Well, the thing that I like, Zach, is the fact that this is a great facility. Yeah. I can actually see the extra points tonight. I got a good view from here. I've called all of them correctly tonight. Here's the kick by Landon. It's kind of a squib kick. Stay in bounds. It's going to go out of bounds though, and Gravette will have the ball at the 35-yard line, and that's where they're going to start with 1 minute and 3 seconds. They got enough. I think if you're Gravette, you got all 3 timeouts. And you got to think about taking a shot at it, Zach.
Yeah, they can run their offense. They've got 3 timeouts, and the way 33 has been ripping off yards for them, you know, they can pretty much do what they want to do. What Prairie Grove needs to be careful of is screens and draws. And
that's what you got.
Yards and big chunks.
And Sterleski, I mean, he's fast and big, strong, and tough to bring down.
I sense a John Halbert pick coming.
Here is Robinson, and he's got room. Robinson gets down. That was just right. You know, I think everybody was keying in on Sterleski. You know, Sterleski, he's not that tall, but he's 5'7", 184, so he's compact. You know, 184 pounds in a 5'7" frame. They're down to the Prairie Grove 40, and there's going to be a timeout. The Tigers take their last timeout, which leaves
just what we talked about. Can't give up plays in yards in big chunks. It's a 25-yard run.
Well, I think the thing here with Gravette is they've got 3 timeouts, which means you can mix some run and pass here. You don't. I mean, even if you run the ball, even like that play, if you got stopped, you call timeout, you don't lose a lot. So they can run their offense, as you said.
Yeah, it's just, Prairie Grove's got to find a way to shut down. I mean, Robinson's got 64 yards. Strzelecki's got 69 yards. You got to do something to stop that 1-2 punch. And I don't know if you send Jacob on a couple of blitzes up the middle or something.
And Greenhaw's got a few yards himself, both in the passing. So they've got, it's not all Sterleski. What's Greenhaw got? You got anything on Greenhaw?
Greenhaw is, let's see here. He's got 1 carry for 7 yards. It was the pass play. Yeah, that was the big one.
And he's touched the ball 2 or 3 times. And
3 catches.
He's in motion this time, and now Alexander in the shotgun, and he's back. He's rolling to his left. Turns upfield. He's got a man open, and it's complete. And that ball's going to be that was a very well executed play.
Just an out and up. Christian was with him, and he just lost distance with him, and Colby couldn't get over fast enough.
Dallas Curley, and I'll tell you, with 49 seconds, they can definitely do whatever they want at the 7-yard line. So I jinxed us, like you said.
You did.
1st and goal from the 7. Now they can line up. They're lined up in a power I formation. And it's a little bit bobble snap, and right up the middle goes Sterleski, and he's going to be hit. They haven't called the timeout yet.
There's no need to yet. They can still run their offense. They can get a couple of plays off. Now they'll call a timeout after this play.
Well, here you go, and they're going to try to get another power, and there's a pitch. Sterleski, he's outside. That was power running right there by Sterleski. I'll tell you what, Zach, that was an impressive run.
Prairie Grove was in position. You got to make the tackle. You have 2 guys sitting out there on the corner. Somebody's got to make the tackle.
Gravette just goes 65 yards. Was that 4 plays?
4 plays.
4 plays, 65 yards, and that Prairie Grove was in position to make the play. And Sterleski just made a very powerful run, and he gets in, and now the extra point on the way. And with 15 seconds, that one's down the middle. And back to a 10-point advantage for Gravette. 15 seconds left to go, and Gravette goes back up 24-14.
Let's face it, life's moving along at a faster pace these days, and every now and again you find that one stop that allows you to catch your breath. That one stop that reminds you of the good old-fashioned values. The one stop that hand dips their ice creams and makes hamburgers to die for. The one stop that can furnish you with propane and pizza and everything in between. And they usually call you by your name and ask you about your family. Well, that place in Prairie Grove is Frederick's One Stop, serving Prairie Grove since 1975. They say, go Tigers!
Well, 24-14, and wow, yeah. I have got to keep my mouth shut because I jinx us every time, Zach.
Well, you got to credit Gravette. I mean, they executed. Prairie Grove is not.
And now they fumble the ball, and Gravette's going to get one more to play. Gravette's going to get one more play here. Prairie Grove turns the ball over. I got to tell you, Gravette's got all 3 timeouts, which means they can run at least 2. And depending, they may get 3 shots at the end zone here, Zach.
Yeah, they might as well just keep throwing it up in the air. I mean, Prairie Grove has done nothing but shoot themselves in the foot.
But there is one thing Prairie Grove does have. Even though they've been beat a couple times tonight, a guy like Halbert, a guy like Elkins, they get an interception, they're dangerous. So you got to be careful if you're Gravette. But heck, if you're Gravette with a 10-point lead and knowing you got to kick off, might as well throw it deep and take a shot at the end zone. You got Sterleski back here with Alexander, and Sterleski, he's going to be tackled. You just see that? They're going to call a timeout. They're going to get one more play off. Sterleski, he's going to get close to the first down. Halbert got a hold of him. He wasn't going to let go, but he needed a call to come over and help get him down. So 5.6 seconds remaining in the first half. Gravette leading 24-14. This is a little bit higher score than I anticipated.
Yeah, I did not anticipate Gravette having this much offensive success, but I mean, wow, 316 yards in the first half.
That is impressive, and it's a mix of passing. They've got 147 rushing, 169 passing.
Yeah, we talked about them being real balanced, and it's it wasn't just Sterleski. It was the passing game, and to be honest, I mean, they've thrown the ball up, and Prairie Grove's had shots at it. They just can't seem to. They haven't
thrown a lot of passes, have they, Zach?
6 out of 11.
6 out of 11, so they haven't completed. They've been big.
6 out of 11, 189 yards.
Wow, those are big passes. That's over 30 yards a pass, and so second down and a yard, 5.6 seconds. So, gosh, I don't know what you got a better shot at handing off to Sterleski or going deep. They're going to look here and throws. There's Halbert. Knocks it down. Halbert.
They're going to call him for interference. Yeah, they're going to call him for interference, which is going to give Gravette one more play.
Well, they have 1.9 seconds, so they were going to get a play. This time, they'll get enough yards. They'll get, if it's 15 yards, which it will be, that's going to put them down to about the 20, or is it going to be a spot foul? Will that be a spot foul, Zach?
Should be.
So that spot, it's going to 30-something yards. He can throw that to the end zone, so.
I don't know about that. I mean, John was playing the ball.
Well, with 1.9, I'll tell you what, Prairie Grove just they're going to mark it off 15 yards, Zach. So they got the ball at the 28. So this is where you can go to the end zone, and I said they may get 3 plays off when they got the ball at 15 point. This is it. Gravette, I got to tell you, that's some great clock management by Gravette. I mean,
they've done everything right. I mean, to this point in the ballgame, they've done everything right, and Prairie Grove's got to come up with an answer here. Stop them here, get the ball back, and let's put some points on the board at the start of the second half and get busy.
Well, the interesting thing here that I would have to say for Gravette, I've talked about the great clock management, but I bet you if they had a chance where they let 30 seconds roll off, they'd have known they were going to get that kick. They probably would have called a timeout there because Prairie Grove does not need to give anything up. Here it's 24-14. 1.9 seconds.
This just doesn't look like the team we've seen the last couple of weeks.
Well, look at Coach Laird was out on the field, and he was barking orders to the defense there. And, I think the key is getting pressure on Alexander.
Yeah.
He's had a lot of time to throw, and Prairie Grove, and now here comes they pick up the blitz pretty well. They do get pressure, and he's going to come over the line. He's got some running room. He's not going to make it. He's going to get down to about the 6. That's going to be the end of the first half, and it's been an exciting first half of football. At the end of the first half, our score, the Gravette Lions 24, Prairie Grove 14. We'll be back for the bands and for the halftime festivities right after this.
PG Telco, built on community, focused on progress. But what does that mean to you? It means that you get to keep up with all your sporting events associated with Prairie Grove Athletics on a website furnished and maintained by PG Telco. It means that the folks at PG Telco have an interest in you, your kids, your school, and your community. And they're focused on progress. They're committed to bringing you the very latest in technology for your home or your office, for telephone, internet, long distance, or direct TV. Think PG Telco, built on community, focused on progress. The Bank of Fayetteville, it's a bank, right? It offers all the services that banks offer: checking, savings, commercial loans, personal loans. They even have trust services, and they offer financial planning. And amidst all of this, they've even stepped into the new age, and they offer online banking. But with all of this progress and all these services, they still offer something the other guys have seemingly forgot. They know you by your name, and they treat you with good old-fashioned customer service. The Bank of Fayetteville, with offices in Fayetteville, West Fork, Farmington, and Prairie Grove. There's been a Davis at the counter of Sterling Drugs since before most of us were born. As a matter of fact, Sterling Drugs been at the same location in Prairie Grove since 1918. And while a lot has changed in the medical field, quality customer care is not one of them at Sterling Drug. You'll find the latest in all prescriptions explained to you by Gary Davis. He's been doing it for nearly 30 years. As a matter of fact, Gary's only going to charge you for the medication. His experience, he's going to throw that in for free. Keeping you healthy since 1918. Sterling Drug, 125 East Buchanan in Prairie Grove. Proud sponsors of Prairie Grove Athletics. Building a championship caliber athletic program takes more than great coaching. It takes more than great student athletes. It takes great Building a championship caliber athletic program takes more than great coaching. It takes more than great student athletes. It takes great support from the community. You can show your Tiger pride and support all the sport teams here at Prairie Grove by joining the Prairie Grove All Sports Booster Club. Make your check of $25 payable to the Prairie Grove All Sports Booster Club and send it to the address you see now. A portion of your donation makes it possible to broadcast Prairie Grove sports online. It's great to be a Prairie Grove Tiger.
Okay, you see the Prairie Grove Band out on the field. They're going to do their tribute to the Midnight Special. We're going to take a break, and we're going to, hopefully you can hear, we're going to try to get our mic so you can hear, and we'll be back with you. We'll have the Prairie Grove Band, and then after them we'll have the Gravette Band, and we'll be back to talk about first half stats after the two bands play.
Ladies and gentlemen, Prairie Grove High School presents with pride the Big Bad Band from Tigerland. The band invites you to jump down the rabbit hole as the band plays the Jefferson Airplane psychedelic thriller, White Rabbit. Billy Preston played one of his big hits on the Midnight Special in 1973. The band brings its hits back by featuring senior vocalist Philip Shepard on keyboards, senior trombone soloist Hiram Urban, and percussion led by All-State percussionist John Benzant, to the Neil Moss arrangement of Willie the Rounded Circles.
I got a song that ain't got no melody. I'm gonna sing it to my friend. I got a song that ain't got no melody. I'm gonna sing it to my friend. When you go round in circles, when you fly high like a bird up in the sky. When you go round in circles, when you fly high like a bird up in the sky.
Tonight's performance of a haunting melody from the Moody Blues, featuring a trumpet duet by Will Coleman and Spencer Erdman. Here's Nights in White Satin. band is under the direction of Gary Nichols and Neil Moss. Flag coordinator is Keisha Grigson. This has been a Music Without Mercy production, and thank you for your kind attention.
Here's your Gravette band joined by the middle school band. And now the middle school band will join the high school band. Great job, man. Let's give a nice round of applause, ladies and gentlemen.
PG Telco, built on community, focused on progress. But what does that mean to you? It means that you get to keep up with all your sporting events associated with Prairie Grove Athletics on a website furnished and maintained by PG Telco. It means that the folks at PG Telco have an interest in you, your kids, your school, and your community. And they're focused on progress. They're committed to bringing you the very latest in technology for your home or your office. For telephone, internet, long distance, or direct TV, think PG Telco. Built on community, focused on progress.
All right, we're just got we got 2 minutes, probably about 5 minutes before we start the second half. And Zach, a little more scoring than we anticipated tonight.
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah, a lot more than what I thought. Prairie Grove came in conference play, giving up 8 points a game. Gravette gave up 14 points a game in conference play, and we've just had this explosion of points. And I was looking at the stats at halftime, and to this point, Gravette's got, let me make sure I read this right, 338 yards total offense. Now, Prairie Grove came in on the year giving up about 219 a game, and they couldn't be more balanced right now. It's 169 passing, 169 yards rushing. So, I mean, the quest for Prairie Grove here in the second half is pretty obvious. You've got to shut down this Gravette running game. I think it starts inside out. I think you've got to stop Strelecki. I think you've got to stop Robinson. They both got over 60 yards here in the first half, and then you work on the receivers. The defensive backs have been in position to make plays. It's just the Gravette wide receivers have gone and made plays, and it's we're waiting for somebody from Prairie Grove to make a play.
Well, the other thing too is that the Gravette, we said they got six completions
for
180 yards or 169 yards. So yeah. I'm sorry. So with that, not quite 25, 30 yards per pass, and when you have that kind of production, it's been big plays, but that's what good teams do, and a couple of them have been broken plays, actually.
Exactly, and as I said, the defensive backs have been in position. The touchdown right before halftime is a killer. Christian Denton was in position to make the play. He just lost the space differential between he and the receiver, and Colby couldn't come over and make the play on over the top. The first drive of the second half, I think, is key. I think we're going to see, we're going to get a pretty good idea of where we're going here in the second half. If Prairie Grove comes out and gets a score, we've got ourselves a ball game, and hopefully they've made some adjustments here defensively. I think for Gravette, keep doing what you're doing. I mean, you're going up and down the field. You're gonna continue to do you feel like you're going to continue to do that, and it's a completely different game than I expected. I expected this to be pretty close to the vest, two teams just kind of slugging it out, and all of a sudden we've got a shootout on our hands.
Well, I would say that Sterleski. What's the yardage on the Sterleski tonight?
Sterleski right now is sitting at 15 carries for 85 yards.
And then you've got Robinson 4. Is that 64?
4 for 64.
So it's kind of been a 1-2 punch. And Greenhaw's made a few plays. Alexander's made some good passes. They scored on a 4th and was it 4th and 7?
Yeah, it was 4th and 7. And to be real honest, I mean, he just throws the ball up and his receivers go and make plays. I don't see. I think comparing him to Cooper Winters, Cooper is more of a he's throwing the ball on the line, putting the ball in his numbers. Alexander just throws it up and his guys go and get it. And I mean, it's two different ways to go about doing things. And I think for Prairie Grove, as I talked about in the pregame, I thought they were going to come up, crowd the box, take Sterleski out of the game, and then try and make Alexander beat him, and he has.
Well, one of the things I would also say we got 3 minutes here before we start the second half, is that Prairie Grove the last 2 times have moved the football. Now, one time Prairie Grove was stopped inside the 10, and missed the field goal. But they have moved the ball the last 2 times, which is, up to that point, not much positive production at all. But
hit the long pass to Landon. I think we've got to come out here in the second half. You've got to establish the line of scrimmage here on the first drive, and I think you've got to get the ball to Weston and Schrock, and you've just got to pound the ball and do what you do, and then you've got to get something figured out defensively.
And what do their numbers look like?
Weston to this point, 8 carries, 48 yards. Schrock was 6 for 29. That's well below their season averages. And
but still 5 or 6 yards a carry.
It's still 5 or 6 yards a carry. It's just they're not possessing the ball as much as we've seen them do here in the last 4 or 5 weeks, and. It'll be interesting. Maybe we'll see the fire and brimstone speech we saw after after halftime at Berryville. I think we're facing a bit different.
Oh,
opponent.
Absolutely.
But I think they haven't looked bad. They've just kind of looked out of sync, in a funk. I mean, whatever you want to call it, and some of it's probably due to Gravette's defense, but. Prairie Grove just needs somebody, as I've said all throughout the first half, somebody just needs to make a play.
Well, if you look at Prairie Grove, 100 and how many total yards?
140 total.
140 total.
They're averaging about 5.5 yards a play, but you've got the interception. You've got penalties, 4 penalties for 38 yards, and the penalties have come at just crucial, back-breaking times. I mean, you get a 3 and out, you get an interception, you're going to get the ball down at the 30-yard line, you get called for holding. That sort of thing you just can't have happen if you're going to beat a good team like Gravette. Now, you might have been able to get away with that last week, the week before. You can get away with that sort of thing, but not this week. And we've talked about them having to have that edge to play a team like Gravette and get going into the playoffs, and this is the caliber opponent they're going to see next week, and if they progress any further past next week.
Yeah. Well, we'll see here. We've got about a minute to go before half. We're going to take a quick break. Be back with you for the second half. This is Prairie Grove Tiger football.
Let's face it, life's moving along at a faster pace these days, and every now and again you find that one stop that allows you to catch your breath. That one stop that reminds you of the good old-fashioned values. The one stop that hand dips their ice creams and makes hamburgers to die for. The one stop that can furnish you with propane and pizza and everything in between. And they usually call you by your name and ask you about your family. Well, that place in Prairie Grove is Frederick's One Stop, serving Prairie Grove since 1975. They say, go Tigers! Since 1947, there's been a Lewis at the helm of Lewis Automotive. It's family-owned, family-operated by a family that calls Prairie Grove home. Now, you do the math. They'll soon be entering their 65th year of service. 65 years. You don't go that far in any one business without treating people good, and I mean real good. As a matter of fact, Ford awarded Lewis Ford their coveted President's Award, one of the top dealerships in the nation. Run by hometown folks, Lewis Automotive is a proud sponsor of Prairie Grove Tiger football.
Okay, we're back for the second half, and what a game we've had so far. Gravette leading Prairie Grove 24-14.
A couple other halftime scores we can pass along. It looks like Ozark's going to wrap up the 1-4A. They're up 27-0 at halftime over Gentry. Farmington right now up 22-16 on Shiloh Christian. They're just into the third quarter. And we'll work on getting the other scores from the 1-4A here shortly. Looks like Gravette's about ready to kick off. Prairie Grove's going to get the ball to start. And looks like John Halbert and Colby Elkins will drop back deep.
Okay, we prepare to start the second half, and here's the kick. It's a short kick, and That's Jared Murphy. He's going to get at the 40, and he's going to get up to about the 44-yard line. Kicked by Amisika. Well, Zach, Prairie's going to get good field position to start the second half, and
I'm surprised they're not kicking the ball deep. I guess they want to keep it away from Colby, but it just seems like seems dangerous giving Jared a head of steam. I got to tell you, I don't know if they're trying to throw you off around here at halftime or what, but Juice Newton and John Denver in the same halftime show, man. I don't know. That's like the pink locker room at Iowa. Everything just gets real sedated.
First down and 10 for the Tigers, ball at the 44. They're going to go to Bartholomew. He's hit in the backfield, dropped for a 2-yard loss. Kind of tripped up there. He's brought down by Glenn Overturf. And Prairie Grove needing something here. Looks like they're going to spot it between the 42 and the 43-yard line, and so it's going to be second down. Let's call it 12 for the Tigers. And that was good penetration by the defensive line of Gravette. Kind of blew that play up from the start. And now Winters in the shotgun, empty backfield. In motion is Elkins. They faked to Elkins, and this is Cooper's first carry tonight, and he looked very timid. There was a late hit there, but nothing called, and just good hard play there. And third down and 13, and this is not the way you wanted to start.
No, this is definitely not what you wanted to do. And as we've talked about, somebody just needs to step up and say, this is going to be my game.
Well, it's third down and 13 for the Tigers, and definitely a passing situation. And give him some time, and he does have time. Throws, and that's way overthrown late. Wow. Overturf. And Prairie Grove goes 3 and out to start the second half, and with good field position, Zach. That's
just not the way you wanted to
start.
Not the way.
And Cooper, I mean, he is, especially the last several weeks. I mean, he has looked so good throwing the ball, and that one wasn't. That was way overthrown, and now it's going to
3 out of 8 to this point.
3 out of 8.
Not a Cooper-like night.
And here comes the kick, and Cooper gets a nice high kick. It's going to be filtered around the 20. Oh, and a nice hit. Several Tigers, and he gets it about the 20, gets back to the 25. So Prairie Grove now has a defense must step up here. I mean, you can't really go down to 17 to a team like Gravette.
Yeah, you don't want to start overstating this could be the game here, but like you said, if you get down 17, you're really digging yourself a hole.
Well, we'll remind you, if you're watching, I know our comments page will be working for you that may be there. Want to make sure that our comment page, if you need to communicate with us, go to fearlessfriday.com to the forums, then to the 4A page. Looks like Sterleski there is going to pick up a few yards. Greenhaw on the carry. He's brought down by several of the Tigers, and
they've adjusted to the speed sweep. Now you just got to worry about the option coming back off of it.
Zach, we may be having some problems here. I'm going to have to make.
There it is. Good God. Come on, boys. Boy, that is a tough play. That's first down.
And the Lions go to Sterleski, and he goes all the way. Nice run, and Prairie Grove had guys in position, and Sterleski made a great athletic play to get into the end zone.
This is like watching Asher Ree all over again. It's it's one guy just continually making plays, and Prairie Grove's got to come up with something here shortly. It's a nice catch and run, but if you're Prairie Grove right now, you've really dug yourself into a hole.
And the extra point is good, and with 8 minutes and 52 seconds, Gravette has really poured it on, and they lead the Tigers 31-14, and we're going to take a break and come right back.
How do you tell someone that they're special?
Flowers and Friends.
How do you tell someone that they're loved?
Flowers and Friends.
How do you tell someone happy anniversary?
Flowers and Friends.
And how do you express your deepest sympathy?
Flowers and Friends.
In Prairie Grove, when your message needs to be expressed with flowers, be it fresh-cut flowers or one-of-a-kind silk arrangement, think Flowers and Friends or drive by 114 East Buchanan, or you can call them at 846-2137. Flowers and Friends, flowers, gifts, and more with that hometown touch.
Well, we're back with you, and I'm going to ask if you are seeing any problems on the internet with kind of a spooling type. If you'd let us know on fearlessfriday.com. I know we've got a few of you watching. Let us know. There's the kick. We filled it by Schrock at about the 25, and Schrock's hit. He's going to bull his way up to about the 31-32 yard line. Tackle made there by Greenhaw. Also helping out on the tackle is Tristan Kahodnik, I'm going to call that. Tigers 1st and 10, ball at their own 31, and 8:46 to go here in the third quarter. And
well, you got to make a decision here if you're Prairie Grove. Are you going to try and get yourself back in the football game, or are you going to let this thing get out of hand?
Well, it's not quite time to panic, but the fingers on the button.
Yeah.
The fingers on the button.
And the mood here at Tiger Stadium, or Lion Stadium here in Gravette has certainly picked up a little bit.
Ball just overthrown. Denton on the coverage there is Alexander.
Yeah, Cooper's forcing it now.
Gravette leading 31-14, and Prairie Grove 2nd down and 10, and need to establish something here on this drive. And we've had a hard time throwing the ball tonight.
4 plays, -3 yards here in the second half. It's just not going to get it done against this kind of team.
There's some movement. I'm not sure who they're going to. Maybe they didn't see a flag.
I think we've got offsides on the bottom of on the defensive end here on the bottom.
I'm not sure. Was there a flag? Did they actually? I don't think they threw the flag.
Oh, how could he not?
Well, I actually thought the offensive guy drew him. So either way, but no flag. It's going to be 3rd down and 7 for the Tigers. And boy, Prairie Grove is really struggling to get things going tonight. And Gravette is hitting on all cylinders. And now empty backfield. Schrock comes out in the slot.
Nice catch.
That is a terrible spot. I mean, I'm not trying to complain too much, but they gave him that. They're not going to get a first down there, but. Oh, wait, it depends on where they spot it now. It looks like, well, no, heck no.
They spotted it at the 40.
If they spot it at the 40, he's a yard short. I don't even know why you would even measure.
Down 17.
Oh, yeah,
You're in your own territory.
This is a. Oh, he's going to be short by. It's a little closer than I thought, Zach. That's a little closer than I anticipated, but I think you got to. Zach, I think you go here. I mean, I think you put the game on the line here because.
You're not stopping them. You're not stopping them. You've got to get into a scoring match with them, and hopefully, get a turnover, get a stop somewhere along the line. But you can't give the ball back to them after 3 plays.
No, and you're taking a chance here going forward on 4th down because if you don't make it, you're going to give it at the 40, and then blowout city may be coming. It's short. You don't need a lot. I mean, this could be a quarterback sneak. It could be a Schrock play.
Yeah, this is the sugar huddle. They're going to line up quick and snap it.
And they went outside. I got to tell you, we got the first down. I don't necessarily agree with the call on that one, but we got it.
We'll definitely take it.
The coaches know more than we do. I mean, they maybe the big line there.
Maybe the chart said they blitz right up the middle. That's it's a gutsy call to go outside on a sweep, but you put the ball in one of your best players' hands and let him go to work.
Well, that keeps the drive going. 1st down and 10, ball at the 44. Bartholomew picks up the first down. He got almost 4 yards on the play and gives the Prairie Grove a new fresh set of downs. And now Cooper, he doesn't have a lot of time. He's under pressure, and Sterleski got him. Cooper never saw him. Cooper did not feel the pressure there. Sterleski came from the outside, untouched, and gets the sack. 10-yard loss on the play, and that's going to be 2nd and 20 for the Tigers. No one picked him up, Zach.
Just a corner blitz. The backside tackle didn't even see him coming. And Cooper never saw him coming. That's just something you've got to, if you're the quarterback, that's your responsibility. If you're not going to adjust protection, you've got to beat the free man.
Empty backfield. Now Prairie Grove definitely in a passing situation. 2nd and 20. Sterleski knocks that play down, and he is all over the place. 3rd and 20 for the Tigers, and
I think I don't know. I don't know that you have a 3rd and 20 in your bag of tricks right now, but you better come up with something.
Well, we got a third. We made it last week with a 2nd and I think 39, but we're not playing Gentry this week.
A little different team this week. A little
bit different team this week. Absolutely, Zach. 3rd and 20. 4 receivers to the left side, and now only rushing 3 men. And they're getting through. Somebody needs a good block. Good block there. Cooper gets it complete. Christian Denton's going to get down to about the 49, and if he could have stayed in bounds, I think that's close enough to go now, Zach. I mean, you got 6 minutes to go here in the 3rd. You're not going to get a lot of opportunities, and
well, they picked of it back.
Got 17 of it on that play, so you got 4th down and 3.
Cooper now 5 out of 12, 85 yards and 1 interception. Now you're running out of time.
They're not going to get the playoff, I don't believe, Zach. You may have to call a timeout. No, down to 3, 2 on the play clock. And there's Schrock. Schrock going to go. He goes about 9 yards for the first down.
I'm going to talk about going against conventional wisdom. That's 4th and 3. You're looking at a pass play. You run a fullback trap.
Well, I'll tell you what, it's both times on 4th down, the play calling has worked, and that one was snapped literally with 1 second to go on the play clock. And I was getting nervous because if you get a penalty there, that pretty much is going to force you to punt. 1st down and 10, ball at the Gravette 41. Prairie Grove showing heart, going after it. Here is Bartholomew. He does not a lot of run. Oh, they're going to call.
They've got to blow that play dead. Once he loses his helmet, the play is dead.
His helmet was pulled off.
No call, no.
Bartholomew keeps running without a helmet. That's dangerous. I mean, I don't condone that at all, but shows just how tough he is. He kept going.
Once the helmet comes off, play is effectively over. We got Margaret and Troy Kurtzinger watching for Prairie Grove tonight.
Appreciate you guys going to Fearless, letting us know. Our comment page not working for us here tonight. There's Landon West, and he's going to go. Maybe he's going to lose a yard there. So 3rd down and 11, another 3rd down, Zach. This is the 3rd time we've faced this situation on this drive. There's good and bad on this drive. The good is that we're moving the ball. The bad is we're using a lot of clock to do it.
I don't know how many times you can keep gambling like this with 3rd and longs.
Cooper back to pass. Got time across the middle. And no call there. Nice defensive play by Alexander. And now Prairie Grove on 4th. It looks like Prairie Grove's going to go again, Zach. I mean, that's going to be their 3rd, 4th down. And
well, you can't run the fullback trap. That's out.
You got to give Cooper time. You got to give him time to throw the ball.
He hasn't had a lot of time. He's been under duress most of the night.
He's got time. He's out of bounds, and Prairie Grove's going to turn over on downs, and the Lions hold, and they're going to have the ball. 1st and 10 at their own 40, and Zach.
You got to start thinking. You got to start thinking about keeping that point differential down at this point.
I think you do, and I think the other thing here is with Prairie Grove with the ball on defense this time needs a stop. The only thing I would see the opportunity here is that if they can get some points somehow still before the end of the 3rd quarter, there's a shot.
Yeah.
You don't get it there, and it's going to be tough going in the 4th quarter.
You've got to get a stop here. You got to do something defensively.
I imagine we're going to get a big dose of Sterleski right here, and actually that in the backfield, that is Robinson. He's hit, and he's going to lose a yard. Jared Murphy on the tackle.
A lot of missed tackles tonight.
Well, I'll tell you something, though. Sterleski is a tough young man to tackle. He's 5'7", 184, so he's got a low center of gravity. And
17 carries for him, 108 yards, 2 catches, 106 yards.
So over 200 yards of total offense for Sterleski.
And a couple of nice tackles.
There's Greenhaw. There's a fumble on the play. Sterleski, they went from, holy smoke, you can't. Sterleski, they went from a wildcat formation, Zach.
Ball hit him in the head.
And, we talked about this earlier. There's been busted plays that they just made happen, and that was it right there. And the interesting thing about that play is we had guys going up trying to hit him down with a forearm. You got to tackle that man. You cannot. You're not going to knock him down. Just try to hit him up high. Big 1st down there for the Lions, and now approaching the 4-minute mark in the 3rd quarter. Prairie Grove trailing 31-14, and there's a pitch to Sterleski, and he's going to be hit this time. He's right around the line of scrimmage. A little extracurricular activity going on there in the secondary. Number 66 for Cody Johnson for Gravette. Second down for the Tigers. Defensive line there makes a good play. You had Kurtzinger, Call, Murphy, Sugg all in on that tackle. 2nd down and 9. Sterleski in the eye, and they're going to hand it to the up man there. That is Robinson. He's going to picks up probably about 4 yards. Going to be 3rd down and 5 for the Lions. Zach, is it me, or is it like he's bobbling that snap?
There's something not clean about the snap on every play. I don't know if he's just real low when he goes to snap the ball, but there's just it looks like he's bobbling the snap when he's under center. It just doesn't look look normal.
It doesn't look clean.
Yeah.
3rd down and 5 for Gravette. Down to 7 seconds, 5 seconds on the play clock. He does get it off, Sterleski. He's going to have the 1st down. And I'll tell you what, Zach. Zach, this is one of those things where, even if we keep the point differential here close, I mean, if they've got a 17-point lead, and I think we've got to stay within 13 is what I've heard and read about.
It seems to be the conventional wisdom is 13, depending on the outcome of the Shiloh-Farmington game.
But you're down to 31 or 22-25 to go here. There's Sterleski. He's hitting the backfield. Hit back there. That was number 16. That's Dalton Falk. Hadn't called his name much tonight, Zach.
They're starting to send corners and safeties. They're trying to bring everybody up they can just try and slow him down.
Well, this is definitely, I think, when Prairie Grove gets the ball back. I mean, it's now Gravette's going to be able to send the house because they're going to have to throw the ball, and so Prairie Grove's going to become one-dimensional probably when they get the ball back. 2nd down and 11, and again, it looked like smart play by Alexander. He's done that a couple of times tonight where Prairie Grove's had pressure on him. He's broken that tackle, and then one time he made a great play where the ball bounced into his hands. I think that was their first or second touchdown?
That was the second possession of the game, and they've just all the breaks. They've made plays. I don't know if all the breaks have gone their way, but they've just made all the plays.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
And Prairie Grove had a shot at them in the backfield. They just have not been able to wrap them up.
Well, 3rd down and 11, and I imagine from this field position that this is 4-down territory and reverse. Oh, whoa! Nice tackle, Kurtzinger and Call. They wrap up Greenhaw back around the 37-yard line, and I mean that was a solid tackle.
I heard that one up here.
Absolutely, and hearing it through this Gravette crowd is not easy tonight. Well, with 1:19, it's 4th down and 13 for Gravette. They're looking over here. I imagine they're thinking there's no reason to punt here, and we've held Prairie Grove in check, and if we get a 1st down, and so it looks like they're going to go, and they're going to run the clock down, probably going to call a timeout.
Just really, I guess I'm shocked that as well as the Prairie Grove defensive backs have played, the last 5 games, 5-6 games, that Gravette's had this much success throwing the football.
But like you said, they've been in position a lot of times tonight. They have just misplayed the ball. Well, there's a timeout on the field. We're going to take a timeout with them. With 1 minute and 1 second to go in the 3rd quarter, Gravette 31, Prairie Grove 14.
There's been a Davis at the counter of Sterling Drugs since before most of us were born. As a matter of fact, Sterling Drugs been at the same location in Prairie Grove since 1918. And while a lot has changed in the medical field, quality customer care is not one of them at Sterling Drug. You'll find the latest in all prescriptions explained to you by Gary Davis. He's been doing it for nearly 30 years. As a matter of fact, Gary's only going to charge you for the medication. His experience, he's going to throw that in for free. Keeping you healthy since 1918. Sterling Drug, 125 East Buchanan in Prairie Grove. Proud sponsors of Prairie Grove Athletics.
Okay, we come back to the field. It's 4th down and 13, or 4th and 13, 14 to go, and Gravette is going to punt. I think that's Sterleski back there.
Punt fake.
Oh no, that's Greenhaw, and Greenhaw. Oh, it's blocked! It's blocked by Jared Murphy. Murphy gets on the ball at the 40-yard line, and Prairie Grove gets a big break here. And that's the first time I've heard the Prairie Grove crowd from across the way.
Well,
that you needed a big play.
Like Michael Corleone, just when you think they're out, they pull you back in.
Well, big play there for the Tigers. I was hoping Jared would scoop that one up, but
well, scoop and score would have been nice. But you know what? You want an opportunity to get back in the ball game. This is your shot.
This is your shot, and Prairie Grove, if they can score here into the 3rd, early 4th, there's a shot. And now right up the middle is Schrock. He's going to go about 4 or 5 yards. There's a flag on the play.
There may be get a face mask.
Is it a face mask?
Yeah, I think so.
And that's depending on how that was done. It could be 5 or 15. In high school, there's still incidental face masks. So let's see what they call here. Personal foul. Face. That's 15.
Yep.
That's going to put Prairie Grove inside the 30, Zach. So. Zach, when I think of the plays, a lot of times in football games, even though it's 31-14, there are a few plays that make a big difference. Plays to me on the first touchdown when they had the bounce ball back into Alexander's hands, that kept it from being a 4th, instead of a 4th and 20, it was 4th and 7.
Yeah, as we talked about, all the bounces have just seemed to go Gravette's way tonight.
The touchdown before the half, and there is Schrock again. Schrock's just going to bully his way. He's going to go, he's down to about the 12-yard line. So Prairie Grove in good position here. both teams had been stopped inside the 10 tonight, so that's kind of a wash when you think of it that way. But Prairie Grove needs some points here. I'm not sure why the clock is stopped, but it is.
We'll take it.
I think they're going to do a measures. That's what they're going to do here. And so with Prairie Grove gets on the board here at the end of the third, early fourth, and they still have a game.
You still have a ball game. You still have some concerns about the defense and whether or not they can actually stop them, because you're looking at having to make 3 more stops, and I think at this point Gravette's got 430
It'd be 2 stops, because you score here, 2 stops, and you're within. So
still got to get 2 stops.
Still got to get 2 stops.
Still got to get 2 stops.
That block punt,
huge.
I mean, I see a lot of teams do that run rugby type kick. Tends to be effective because it usually gets a nice bounce. That time,
we kicked it right into Jared, which is like kicking it into a sequoia. If there's a big tree in the way, don't kick it.
Okay, so going to be second down and short for the Tigers. 32 seconds to go here in the third quarter. Our cameraman Henry Top saying, not a bad idea to go to the end zone here. You got second and short. Got to be careful. I mean, we're driving the ball, moving the football on the ground, and there's Bartholomew. He's got a lot of room. Give him 6, and Prairie Grove scores with 18 seconds to go here in the third quarter. Big touchdown for Prairie Grove, Zach. And if someone would have told me tonight it was going to be 31-20 or 21, I would have said I don't think so. But
somebody tell the fat lady to sit back down. We're not done just yet.
She was humming. I heard her humming. But
yeah, it wasn't looking good. But Weston, that's his second touchdown of the night. He's 61 yards. Come on, Landon, we need this one, buddy.
Here's the snap for the extra point down. The kick is in the air. It is good. And with 18.5 seconds, Prairie Grove strikes. Block kick by Jared Murphy looms large, and Prairie Grove down 31-21. This thing ain't over yet. We'll be back right after this message.
Let's face it, life's moving along at a faster pace these days, and every now and again you find that one stop that allows you to catch your breath. That one stop that reminds you of the good old-fashioned values. The one stop that hand dips their ice creams and makes hamburgers to die for. The one stop that can furnish you with propane and pizza and everything in between. And they usually call you by your name and ask you about your family. Well, that place in Prairie Grove is Frederick's One Stop, serving Prairie Grove since 1975. They say, go Tigers!
That's Christopher Walken.
All right, we're back with you, and
oh wow, Motley Crue! I got to give the folks here at Gravette some.
Wait, you said?
Oh no, I'm sorry. That's the Beastie Boys. Excuse
but you were saying John Denver.
Yeah, the John Denver and Duke Newton halftime wasn't. I'm not down with that, but I'm okay with the Beastie Boys.
Landon Allen preparing to kick from the 40. Landon squib kicks it. It's going to be taken, fielded about the 30, around the 30-yard line, and number 17, Devin Hanby. Was that 17 for Prairie Grove? I don't know if I've called that name. Maybe I couldn't quite see it from here.
I'm wondering if these squib kicks are a result or a byproduct of all the problems that they were having the last couple of weeks with kick coverage.
Well, I actually talked to Coach Laird about that last week. That when you think about the Gentry game, probably the best game Prairie Grove's played. I know that was not the caliber of team that Gravette is, but I told him, I said, if there was any weakness last week, it was the kick return. All right, first down and 10 for Gravette. 12 seconds to go here in the third quarter, and Prairie Grove with that score. And now the defense coming to life. They're going to get, I believe that was Sterleski, and he's going to be caught in the backfield. That was Drew Sugg, Kurt Singer, and I think Murphy was in there, and Noah Hunter. There was a lot of them in there that time, Zach.
They got to be careful. You got to be careful of the play-action pass because they're committing a lot of people to the run right now.
That is the end of the third quarter, and our score is the Gravette Lions 31, Prairie Grove 21. We'll be back for this exciting fourth quarter.
Since 1947, there's been a Lewis at the helm of Lewis Automotive. It's family-owned, family-operated by a family that calls Prairie Grove home. Now, you do the math. They'll soon be entering their 65th year of service. 65 years. You don't go that far in any one business without treating people good, and I mean real good. As a matter of fact, Ford awarded Lewis Ford their coveted President's Award, one of the top dealerships in the nation. Run by hometown folks, Lewis Automotive is a proud sponsor of Prairie Grove Tiger football.
Well, Zach, as we're back, you've been monitoring our comments for tonight on fearlessfriday.com. What's going on out there?
If you want to join us, and I'm chatting with a bunch of them as this is going on, you can go to fearlessfriday.com, go to the 4A bulletin, we'll go to the forums, then go to the 4A section, and then you'll see a thread that says Prairie Grove versus Gravette. And Brian Walker's watching in Prairie Grove. He says, "Go Tigers." Getting a lot of questions about who's likely to finish second, third, fourth, and all we can tell you is at this point is if Prairie Grove wins, they're the 2 seed. If they're not to win tonight,
it'll depend on the Farmington-Shiloh
game. It really
game.
goes down to point differential.
In motion, and this time is that was number 44 on the carry. That's Robinson. Robinson hadn't carried as much here in the second half, Zach, but he's going to pick up he's probably picked up about 5 yards because Sterleski lost a couple, so it's going to be third down and a long 7 for the Lions, and big defensive stop here for Prairie Grove would loom big for the Tigers, and down to 15 seconds on the play clock. Alexander from the shotgun. I don't believe that's Sterleski in the backfield there, and here comes Call, and they're going deep again, and that time Halbert timed that one perfectly. Nice pass, not a bad pass there from Alexander, but now that 4th down, and we can hear the Prairie Grove cheering section over there, and all of a sudden, Zach, the fat lady definitely sat down,
and she sat down, and she's having some red beans and rice.
All right,
where are you, Jared? We need another one, buddy.
I think this is a different punter. It is a different punter this time. It's going to be a high kick. Halbert calls for the fair catch. He kicks it. Fair catches at the 28. With 11 minutes and 11 seconds to go here in the ball game, Prairie Grove with an opportunity to pull within 3.
You need points on this drive. And
yeah.
You need them relatively quickly.
If you can get
Gravette's gone very conservative here. They're running the play clock down. They're running the football. It's I don't know that this is exactly what they wanted to do.
Well, I think when they had the ball down earlier and with the 17-point lead, they may have gotten a little. There's Schrock, and that's been working real well. Schrock on first down, getting 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 yards. This time he's going to get about 5. It's going to bring up second down and 5 for the Tigers. Wow, he's got 6 yards, Zach.
Yeah, something is up with Strzelecki. Is he back in the game now?
He's over here on the side, jumping up and down. He wasn't in last time, and that.
I don't know. I wonder if they're resting him.
And there is Bartholomew. He's cutting, juking, and I think he's going to get a first down up around the 40. What this allowed, Zach, by getting the block punt, is it allowed Prairie Grove not to be forced to pass. If they'd have got the ball out there on 20, the timing would have needed to pass. So the block punt not only helped them get good field position, it allowed them to be able to run an offense that is theirs where they can mix the pass and run rather than just have to throw the football.
They're still not in the mode where they can take forever getting these plays off. They've got to be in some sort of a hurry, but
Cooper Winters back to pass. He's rolling. He throws. It's complete. That is Dalton Falk. I believe that was Falk.
Looks like Christian.
Or Christian Denton. I apologize to anyone who is related to Christian. Christian Denton, nice catch. Prairie Grove is now in Gravette territory at the 49. I'll tell you, I've been impressed with Gravette tonight, Zach. I mean, even though they got a little conservative here in late third and early fourth quarter, they are a good football team.
They're everything we thought they'd be. And you and I talked about it. At first game of the year, we thought Gravette was probably the best team in the 1-4A, and they've certainly lived up to the billing. But I'll tell you what, Prairie Grove right now is giving them everything they can handle.
Here's a quick pitch to Bartholomew. Bartholomew, he breaks a tackle. He is going to go for another 10 or 11 yards, and Prairie Grove's down to the 37. This is getting interesting now, Zach. Only still 10 minutes and 6 seconds remaining. And ever since the block punt, the Prairie Grove crowd, I've been able to hear them from across the way, and that's probably because the Gravette crowd's not quite as loud as they were earlier. But
14 carries now for Weston, 77 yards, 2 touchdowns. We'd like to see number 3 pretty quick.
Halbert in motion. And there is Schrock. And they were ready for him that time. He's still probably going to get about 3 yards on the play, maybe 2. Yeah, he's going to pick up a couple yards. 2nd down and 8. 9 minutes, 42 seconds to go in the ball game. Prairie Grove needs to hit some points here to pull within 1 score. Field goal, touchdown, anything here helps. Okay, we are 2nd down and 8. There is Schrock again, and he stumbles and rumbles his way for about another 4 or 5 yards. They're going to bring up 3rd down, and I definitely believe Prairie Grove's in 4-down territory here. And he's going to bring up a 3rd down and a long 4 for the Tigers. And
you're definitely in 4-down territory. I like the idea they were using earlier with that quick lineup, the little sugar huddle like the Bengals used to run, where you come up to the line real fast and snap it, because Gravette's running around trying to get themselves lined up. You could catch them like they did on the touchdown run.
There's Bartholomew, and he is going to be short of the 1st down about the 31. And you know, you go with 1-2 punch, you go with Schrock, you go with Bartholomew, and now it's going to be 4th down and 3 to go for the Tigers. They're going to go. 8 minutes, 33 seconds to go in the ball game.
Well, this could be your ball game.
Critical play here. Prairie Grove needs to pick up the 1st to keep this drive alive. How's Prairie Grove on 4th down conversions?
2 out of 3 today.
Here we go. It's 4th down. Long cap, quick pitch. Get upfield, get upfield.
Ooh,
he is going to be close. It depends on the spot. I think where he spotted it, he may have got it. Nah, I don't think so, Zach.
I think he's short.
I think it's going to be short by about a half a yard, or not quite a half, but probably about a half of a length of football.
My eyesight isn't what it used to be, but if they're going with that spot, he's short.
He could have, he's run the ball. Yeah, he's short. You can see that from here. Just couldn't cut up quite quick enough on that one, Zach. That's a big 4th down stop for Gravette. 8 minutes, 11 seconds to go in the ball game, and now the Tigers are going to need to.
You need 3 and out, or you need a turnover.
Need something big here, and Gravette, have they turned the ball over at all tonight?
No.
And that's one of the things in the games that they lost. They lost the game to Shiloh, who Prairie Grove handled pretty easily, and then they also lost to Farmington. In both of those games, they had several turnovers and key turnovers in certain parts of the field. So looks like Sterleski's back in the game. He's going to be at the tailback position from the shotgun. In motion is Greenhaw. And a quick pitch out to Sterleski, and there's not a lot over here.
Good
nice
play.
tackle. And,
nice play, Jacob.
I'll tell you something. Sterleski's a strong kid. We've seen that tonight, the way he's broken tackles. But Jacob Call got a hold of him, and he wasn't letting go.
I know a couple of oxen that aren't as strong as Jacob is. Jacob gets his hands on you, you're going down.
Yeah, you can. I mean, one thing about Sterleski that I'm noticing, and that our camera guys notice, is that he's got a lot of lean. You kind of know when he's getting it. He leans a little before, and there he goes, and then he bounces outside, and he's going to be close to the 1st down. I think he's going to be short by about a yard, and now this is a big play. They're going to call it stop the clock to measure, I think. He's short.
They're looking at it. He's short.
The play with Bartholomew, when they got the quick pitch there, Zach, there was a split second there that he could have cut up, and he strung it out just a tad longer, and I think that was the difference in the. I believe he's short from here. Of course, stopping the clock kind of helps the Tigers, and it's 4th down. It's 3rd down here. Big play here. Wow. With a guy like Sterleski, I mean,
I'd imagine he's probably going to touch the ball here. 37 rushes for Gravette tonight, 226 yards.
Total offense for them tonight?
No, that's just rushing. 448 total.
Wow, unbelievable.
I think you've got to. Yeah, I think you're right. I think you got to. I mean, you've got to bring the house on this one.
And I'll tell you what, the gutsy call by Gravette would be if you.
No more jinxes. No more jinxes from you, okay? I think you got to bring Jacob. I think you got to bring Dalton. I think you got to bring at least your front 7.
Third down. We're approaching the 7-minute mark. Prairie Grove doesn't have a ton of time here. They're in a power I backfield and long snap count. He's got the first and he's got more. So now the Tigers are going to have a stop here. This series of down or the time's going to really be against them. And we're at 6 minutes and 55 seconds. And with a new fresh set of downs, they'll be able to run at least a couple more minutes off the clock. Going to need a turnover, going to need to stop, need something here. You know, you and I made a comment a while, we were talking a while ago off the air, and that is, you know, we're talking about seeds and everything. To me, the way Gravette's played tonight, I mean, regardless of point differential, they look like
they look like a conference champion tonight. To be real honest,
there's Sterleski, and he's.
And they played a clean game, no turnovers. Yeah. They've done everything they had to do. They got a little conservative there in the third quarter, but I mean, you have to give Sterleski credit and the offensive line credit because you're looking at a defense that was giving up 8.8 points per game.
Yeah,
and they've just gone up and down the field now to the tune of 455 yards total.
And Alexander's put the ball up for his receivers to get. Receivers have made good plays. 2nd down and 9 for Gravette. We're down to 5 minutes, 53 seconds to go. Gravette's using the clock. And again, Sterleski, he runs. He's going to pick up about 4 yards. So it's going to be 3rd down. 3rd down and about 5 to go. And Prairie Grove needs a stop here. I think if they stop them, you know, a couple yards short, that they would punt here. Don't think they would go here, but you got to make a stop. And they're going to use all 25 seconds off the clock to play clock. Well, maybe not. They line up pretty quick, Zach. I'm surprised with that. Now he backs up. He tried to draw him offside.
That's an old Prairie Dog offense. You make the quick count, and then everybody looks up like a Prairie Dog.
Down to 5 seconds on the clock. 4, 3, and they're going to snap it right at the... There's a pitch. He's not going to make it.
Yeah,
he's going to be
close.
I think that Gravette may be close enough here to go for it because
based on that where they're marking it, I think he's got the first down. He got a really generous spot.
He sure did. I think Gravette's going to go for it here. I mean, you kind of.
I can't believe they didn't give up. I can't believe they're not going to measure this.
They're going to end up calling a timeout, I believe. Down to 13 seconds. They're going to have to. Oh, man. He's got the first. He may even score here.
More.
Sterleski goes into the end zone. Touchdown, Gravette. That's probably going to seal the deal, Zach.
You know, they sold
holding. Wait. Holding. What a huge penalty. How many? Is that their first penalty of the night?
Wow. Yeah, I believe it is.
And it. No, they've had a couple of penalties. That'll be their 3rd penalty of the night, but that one was that's their 3rd penalty, and
wow,
that one was their least opportune one of the evening. Zach, the lady that was so nice to make the red beans and rice just asked me if we had instant replay. wanting that now that could be huge, Zach.
I don't know if you don't call a timeout here.
Well, Prairie Grove with their type of offense probably needs all 3 timeouts. I mean, be smart here, Prairie Grove, and looks like they got a different punter. They're going to go with the this is a different punter. It kicks straight. Nice punt. And Halbert fields it at the 15, and with 3:45, it's gonna. Zach, it's gonna take I don't want to say a miracle, but it's gonna take a miracle at this point. You got 85 yards to go. And then you got to get an onside kick probably to win this football game.
Yeah, but like we said, we got to keep an eye on point differential. That's the big one right now.
Well, Zach, how are we doing as far as the? Have you had a score from Farmington and Shiloh out there?
I have not seen one in a while.
Any of you Fearless Fridays guys out there? Go out there and let us know what that score is on our comment page if you would. We'd like to kind of hear what's going on with Shiloh and Farmington. There, Cooper's going deep. Oh, intended for Colby Elkins. That looked like Sterleski over there on the coverage, and
I've seen about enough of him tonight.
I've said his name more. You know what? And I think we've said it correctly and not butchered it to death. Someone said that the Farmington lead in Shiloh 37-23, which I would think plays. Well, we beat both of those teams, so I don't know which one it really helps. Second down and 10, 3:39 to go here in the ball game. There is a run. There is Schrock. Schrock breaks. She's over the 25, and that's going to give Prairie Grove a little room. All right, it's time to go to the 2-minute offense, guys. We've got to be moving quick. We've got 3 minutes, 33 seconds. Prairie Grove trailing 31-21. And right now, Zach, when you think about that touchdown before the half,
it's huge.
It's huge.
It's huge. That just. The missed field goal.
The missed field goal is another part that's
it's just everything that could go wrong has gone wrong. It's just kind of been the perfect storm tonight.
But that takes nothing away from Gravette. They've played an incredible football game, and there's low pass complete to Halbert, but he steps out of bounds. But he picks up 5 yards and stops the clock. Hey, stop the clock! He's out of bounds.
No, the ref said to keep it moving.
Oh, did he?
There he goes.
Wow. Hey, tell him to change the clock. Hey, challenge it. Challenge the clock. Yep. Yep. Wow. Yeah, we're right. If you heard me over the air, the Prairie Grove coach is just to the left of us here, and we were talking about challenging the clock. They moved it to 3:09. We may have got a generous there. I think, yeah, it should have been around 3:01. Now, I think Prairie Grove got a little bit of a break there. Should have set it back to over 3. There's a draw play. That's Cooper Winters on the quarterback draw. He's over the 46 to about the 47-yard line. Now they got 3:02, and the Tigers trying to keep this thing running. Prairie Grove's got to start going from the line of scrimmage here, and now they're calling the play there. And that's right. Whenever that clock's set, now you got to get the ball moving. Oh, no. Pass intended for Landon West. On the coverage is Sterleski and Dallas Curley. I got to tell you, that pass was a little rushed.
It was a rocket. I mean, there's no question about it. Landon just couldn't get turned around in time to catch the ball. But you got to start working the sidelines now.
Well, I think that's what they're doing. When they go line up right after, they're going straight to the sideline to try to stop the clock again. 2:54, Prairie Grove. And they're going deep. He's got Landon West incomplete, overthrown. Alexander on the coverage, and now it's 3rd down and 10.
They ran Christian. It was a post and hitch. Christian ran the quick hitch on the inside. Landon runs the post on the outside. Just he was open if he'd let him a little bit more towards the numbers. A rough night for Cooper passing. 7 for 19.
Not a Cooper-like night. Although Cooper, he's been under pressure quite a bit tonight. And 3rd down and 10, and you got 2 plays left. They're going to have to call a timeout.
To call a timeout. 6, 3, 2. Timeout.
Yeah, had to call the timeout there, and it's not good to have to call a timeout, Zach, whenever the clock has already stopped. It's a wasted timeout. But it's not wasting in the sense you didn't want to lose 5 yards.
Yeah, You've got to speed this up. You've got to get into your 2-minute offense. You've got to start working the sidelines, getting some guys downfield a little bit.
Well, it's if Prairie Grove should be fortunate enough to get into the end zone, it's going to take an onside kick. So I mean,
I think you got to look at it, I guess, one of two ways. You'd like to get in the end zone, but you need points on this drive. Whether it's a field goal, whether it's a touchdown, you need points. And if you can get into Landon's range and you can give him a shot to do it, I think you have to take the field goal. On a night like tonight, on an onside kick, that ball gets rolling and bouncing. You can, who knows what could happen.
Prairie Grove needs to pick up the first down before he can get to anything else. So 2 minutes, 48 seconds remaining in the ball game. 3rd down and 10 for Prairie Grove. Ball at their own 47. This drive started at about the 15. And there is Cooper on a quarterback draw, and he's going to get to about the 47 of the Lions. And so now with 4th down, and it's going to be Cooper getting up kind of slow after that. He's going to pick up 6 yards, so it's going to be 4th and 4. We're down to 2:28, so this is the ball game here, Zach.
One of many we've called tonight the ball game. Yeah, Prairie Grove's going to take another timeout.
Fourth down and a long 4 to go. More like probably 5, so.
Gravette's done a nice job in the passing game tonight. They've really harassed Cooper quite a bit. 7 out of 19 for 101 yards, and I don't know what the ideal call is here. He's kind of gone against the grain on all the 4th downs. Do you risk running a draw on something like this? Do you risk running a screen?
I think with.
I don't think Gravette's in a position where they're gonna come after him. They can lay back. Time's certainly on their side.
Well, with this play with Prairie Grove, think about, well, if you run the ball, it doesn't matter at this point. If you don't make the first down,
right,
it's done. Especially with just one timeout left.
I'd be curious to see what they're going to come up with.
Well, Prairie Grove in the first down department, 16, Gravette 16, but Gravette total yards 452 to Prairie Grove's 266. Offensively, they have definitely controlled the game. 4th down and let's call it a 5, and there's Cooper. He's back to pass. He's over the middle. He's got Landon. He's at the 20, 15, 5. Give him 6. Prairie Grove scores.
That's the play they used against Cassville. It's Landon right down the middle.
And all of a sudden, with 2 minutes and 16 seconds, Prairie Grove.
We have a ball game. We have a ball game.
They need the onside kick. I don't know how, that's that thing you practice on Thursday afternoons. And
the first thing they got to do is come up with the extra point here. This is critical.
Yeah, because big play here. And the thing I'm most proud about Prairie Grove tonight is
they were out.
They never.
They were
31 to 14 with Gravette with the ball at the 30, and they've hung in there. Extra point on the way. It is good. With 2 minutes and 16 seconds to go, we have a ball game. It's Gravette 31, Prairie Grove 28. Our neighbors next door is telling us we got too loud. This is the first time tonight she's told us that. So
we've violated the noise ordinance.
All right, we're going to take a quick break. We'll be back for the end of this ball game.
PG Telco, built on community, focused on progress. But what does that mean to you? It means that you get to keep up with all your sporting events associated with Prairie Grove Athletics on a website furnished and maintained by PG Telco. It means that the folks at PG Telco have an interest in you, your kids, your school, and your community. And they're focused on progress. They're committed to bringing you the very latest in technology for your home or your office. For telephone, internet, long distance, or direct TV, think PG Telco. Built on community, focused on progress.
Okay, 31-28. Gravette leads, and I'll tell you what looms large is the touchdown before half, Zach.
And the missed field goal.
Yep, those are the two things.
Are the big ones. This is amazing. It was 31 to 14.
I'm not sure here. I mean, I know Gravette has to do what they do here, and it looks like they got the good hands people on the second row. They got a couple big linemen there. They got number 79 and 77, and an onside kick is coming, and
we think it is.
Nice fielded
play
there by. That wasn't a bad onside kick. We had decent covers there, but a nice field there by number 34, Dallas Curley. But with the 25-second clock, Zach, the ball's going to be on the right hash mark. You got one timeout. If you stop them, you could have one more shot at the ball.
You could have, but you
got
to stop them.
You got to stop them, man. Yeah, because you got one timeout, so that'll hold you under 2 minutes, and then you'd have 2 plays, which would burn about it. You could get it back theoretically with about 30 seconds left. Of course, there's always a chance for fumble.
The snaps have not been clean.
Yeah, you're not going to automatically. And interesting formation here for Gravette. Now in motion is Sterleski, and you know it's coming, and he's hit. And now they get him after about a 4-yard gain, and now you need to go ahead and call your timeout, I believe. Prairie Grove hasn't called it yet.
Yeah, you might want to save it till 3rd down.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. All right, let's get that clock going, guys. Now you're going to be able. They're going to be able to run it down here to about a minute and 30. Need a fumble penalty, something here to. Actually, a penalty doesn't help you.
Doesn't help. The clock keeps going.
Now in motion is Greenhaw, and that keeper here on Alexander, and he's going to be short. Now they call the timeout with a minute and 33. This is the ball game right here, Zach.
Again.
How many times have we said it?
I think if you're Gravette, you're going to put it in 33's hands, no question about it. I think he's got to handle the football. And for Prairie Grove, I think here, we talked about in the first half. Where's Waldo? Find 33 because he's, somehow, some way, I think the ball's going to him.
I love your analogy of Waldo, but I don't see Sterleski as being that whirly kind of redheaded guy you find on a page, because he is anything but that. He has been incredible tonight. Probably over 250 yards of total offense, both passing, receiving yards.
He's come up with, let's see here, 261 yards.
Wow.
2 receptions for 106 yards. And just long receptions. But I don't know. I think you send the house here if you're Prairie Grove. If you're Gravette, do you roll the dice and maybe play for 6? You think they're going over the top?
Well, the thing is here on 3rd and 5, the thing that you can do here, though, if you're Gravette, you run it, you don't get it, you let the clock run down, you can still go for it on 4th down.
Oh, sure.
So,
I think you're going to see. I think you're going to see them run the football.
Yeah, here's Greenhaw in motion. He's getting back there, and he makes a nice cut, but he's not going to get the first.
Blow the whistle.
Well, they need to get off the pile here because they're losing time. See, they can't set the 25-second clock with that, and they've just burned literally 12, 13 seconds.
4th and 5.
It's going to be 4th and about 4 for Gravette, and they're going to let the clock run down. It'll be down to 40-something seconds. But they lost 15 seconds there with the pile-up, between the pile-up and then not being able to set the 25-second clock.
This isn't rugby. It's not rugby. Forward progress or forward momentum gets stopped. You blow the whistle.
So they take 44.3 seconds, timeout. You go for it here for sure, I believe. Well,
if I'm Gravette, I kick the ball. I kick the football, and if Prairie Grove goes 80 yards on you, that's fine. But I think you kick the football, try and pin them deep. Yeah, they're one play away. You can run. This is the distance they scored for.
It looks like they're going to punt because number 21's been the punter, and it looks like he's going to come in. I think Prairie Grove. I don't think you go. I don't know if you go after the punt here because
you definitely go after him.
You think you go?
You absolutely go after him.
All right, I'll let you guys talk me into it.
I think you absolutely go after him. Anybody who plays a video game knows that. Now we got an update. Farmington running it up on Shiloh, 44-23.
Well, point differential may play out for Farmington as well, and that's a 21-point victory over Shiloh. Prairie Grove had a 20-point. Don't know how all that plays out, but here's the punt. So Prairie Grove, don't go off. See, I think you don't go after it because you don't want to get caught going off sides, and you just wait till the ball snaps. Oh, they fake it.
And they got it.
And he's got the first. And that is an incredible play. You got to give it to Gravette. Give it to Gravette. Number 79, Big Jerry McGarra. Big play. That's a big play. I got to give it to Gravette. That was a gutsy call. But you saw, Prairie Grove lined up not to go after it, and I think that's what played into that, Zach. They saw that. And
hey, give them credit. That's a heck of a call, a gutsy call.
Gutsy call. Now it's a victory formation, and
no, I think Gravette's going to run a play.
They're going to pitch it, and they're trying to. They know about point differential here. They're playing to score, and I get it. Normally say you don't run up the score, sportsmanship. I get it. I mean, you're playing for playoff positioning. You don't know how all the points and stuff are going to work out.
You need every point you can get.
Now, the question is here, if they want it that bad, I don't think they go to the end. I mean, you're going to pitch it and try to do it. Of course.
If John Halbert returns one for a touchdown, I'm walking home. Okay? That's it. I'll leave my car. I'm telling you, if something happens, happens and Halbert runs it back, I'm walking home.
Well, I will tell you this. There was a football game played in another state not long ago, about 4 or 5 years ago. Very similar situation. And the team got down to the 5-yard line and was trying to get that extra point. The other team picked up a fumble, went 99 yards for the touchdown. I know I'm begging here for those that may be watching, but, hey, we'll let's look and see here. And Gravette is in there. They're looking. They throw. It's complete.
So much for that idea.
And it's a touchdown. Don't know how that plays into point differential. It's going to give them 37, and I can't blame Gravette at all. I mean, that's the right thing to do, and the way the playoffs are set.
When point differential is part of the tie-breaking system, you absolutely have to do it.
I still think the two biggest plays biggest things of the game was definitely the missed field goal, and then the touchdown before half. I mean, those are the two really differences in the ball game. Extra point is good. With 6 seconds remaining in the game, Gravette takes a 38-28 lead, and we got to just tell you, we have no idea. I mean, honestly, have no idea how the seedings are going to play out, so we're not even going to attempt it. We don't know all the details.
We know Prairie Grove's in.
Yeah,
we know that for certain, and depending on how point differentials go tonight, they could fall from anywhere from. They still could be the 2 seed. It depends on point differential. They could be the 2 seed. They could be I think they're likely going to be the 3. They could be the 4 seed. It just depends on.
And it looks like Shiloh will be the 5th seed for sure out of the conference. And so, Shiloh comes in at 5, and then the Prairie Grove, Gravette, and Farmington will all balance itself. We'll know.
We'll know here in a few hours who's going where, and I think the 3 seed locks up at least one home game. I don't think the second round would be a home game for Prairie Grove.
It looks like Gravette's going to even go for the onside kick here. I think the magic number I've heard is 13 points. And I mean, I could be wrong, and I'm not an authority on it, but that's what we've heard. And here comes the onside kick and fielded. Well, Prairie Grove ought to try for the end zone one more time. Why not?
Might as well give it a shot. I'd say run that same play.
Well, we had a heck of a ball game, and I got to give it to Gravette and the coaching staff going for the fake field goal on 4th down, and aggressive play. And one thing we will say is, regardless of where Prairie Grove plays next week, we will come to you from the location that they play. And Cooper's going to go deep, and looks like it's going to be intercepted, batted down by Greenhaw. That is the football game. Our final score, the Gravette Lions 38, Prairie Grove 28. We'll come back to you for some end-of-the-game stats and our Steak and Shake player of the game. We'll be back right after this.
PG Telco is the proud sponsor of PGTigersOnline.com, where you can find out all the very latest of what's going on with all the sports teams right here in Prairie Grove. But PG Telco is more, a lot more. They offer phone, internet, long-distance services, and bundles, making it all affordable. And that includes DirecTV. For your home or office, staying connected to the fast-paced world is as easy as calling PG Telco. Call 846-7200. That's 846-7200. PG Telco, built on community, focused on progress.
Well, Zach, that's the end of the ball game, and as we come to the end of the season, Prairie Grove ends at 7-3, and our Steak and Shake player of the game,
Weston Bartholomew, 16 carries, 81 yards, 2 touchdowns, 2 very big touchdowns, and you know, it's just a tough night. You got to take a hat off to Gravette. They played well. Prairie Grove had a shot there in the middle of the fourth quarter to really get some things going and make it real interesting, and they sure enough did. But you know, I think for a team that was picked to finish fourth, you know, it's a pretty good season. And the best, as I've told people over and over and over again, the best for this team is still out in front of them. You're going to make the playoffs. You're going to get some extra practices, some extra games. You know, who knows? You know, you win a game here, you win a game there, you get on a roll, and you might be making a trip to Little Rock.
Yeah, and I think, you know, the thing is Gravette's a great football team. I mean, I was impressed with them tonight. They did not have any turnovers.
Mm-hmm. No turnovers, and you know, you expect that from a senior-laden team in a big game like this. And I had some questions coming up as to how Prairie Grove would react to a big game. I mean, it doesn't get any bigger than this. This was for a conference title, and you know what? For 3.5 quarters, you didn't play terribly well, but boy, those last couple of minutes, man, you've got something to build on. And you know, they'll go into next week. We'll find out, you know, who they're going to play probably tomorrow, and you know, we'll go and get ready for that.
Well, we want to thank those who have watched tonight. Let's go down, Zach. Why don't we go ahead and read down the stats real quick? I mean, it was an impressive night for Gravette.
Numbers that kind of jump out at you is the 510 total yards. Prairie Grove hasn't been shredded like that in a long time. But 510 total for Gravette, and Mr. Strzelecki, 30 carries, 163 yards. That's just his rushing. He had 2 catches for 106 yards. If you're looking for a player of the game, or you know, somebody to nominate for your 40-29 player of the week, that young man, he's a phenomenal running back. But you know, you look at Prairie Grove, 3 out of 12 on third downs. 3 out of 12. I mean, we haven't talked about third down struggles like that in some time. But you know, I think all in all, I think if you encompass the whole season, you know, got off to a 2-2 start. You ran on a 5-game winning streak. You know, you probably ran into a team that's a little bit better, and I don't think Gravette's, you know, exponentially better. I think they're a little bit better, but you know, they're a better football team tonight, and you know, hopefully we'll maybe see them down the road this year and you know, into next year.
Well, that's for sure. And you know, Prairie Grove, a very junior-laden team, had a lot of junior starting. But the thing tonight, I think, is Prairie Grove. I was impressed. They never gave up. There was a time, 31-14. It was 31-14. Gravette, if I remember, had the ball somewhere around the 30-yard line. Prairie Grove stopped them, and from that point, they were able to get back in the game. And really, the fourth down that Weston missed by, you know,
it was short. It was just short.
Just short. That was a little place, but I was impressed. Good football game tonight, and want to thank Gravette as a host.
This is a phenomenal facility. If you've never been up here to watch a game, this is as good as it gets. Probably in the 1-4A, it's an impressive thing. But you know, and to add on to what you were talking about, you never know when the game's going to change. Jared Murphy blocks a punt, and all of a sudden Prairie Grove gets going. They suddenly got it in gear and got it going, and that's something that you can build on going into next week. You're going to the playoffs. You know, whether you get in with 1 win or you get in with 10 wins, it really doesn't matter. Everybody's got an equal shot, and you know, as long as we don't run into Pulaski Academy, everything should be fine.
Well, the one thing I would say is that, and I don't know how all the other conferences are, but the one thing about our conference is you got 5 teams, and you're going to have 3 teams that are tied with the same record in the 2nd, 3rd, and 4th seed, and all those teams, they're very equally matched. I would say of those 3 teams, Gravette slightly better, Prairie Grove I think slightly better than Farmington. But not head and shoulders. And so whoever runs into, you know, if they think, well, I'm getting a I'm getting a 4 seed from the 1-4A.
Yeah, you better think again.
Better get ready. Same way, even our 5th seed Shiloh. I mean, they've had they got a lot of players hurt right now, and so Shiloh coming in as a 5th seed, I imagine with their history and everything, if I'm drawing Shiloh somewhere, I'm thinking, oh my gosh, we got to play Shiloh.
Yeah, and the only thing that I guess is a negative for Shiloh is that you got to get on the bus and you're going 7 hours down to the Delta, which I'm thankful we're avoiding. We're at least going to get a home game, and I think just based on what I've been reading and what I'm seeing, I think Prairie Grove will be the 3 seed, Gravette will be the 2, and Farmington will be the 4.
Okay, well, that's it for us tonight. For Zach Arns, I'm Lynn Gregson. We will be back next week. We don't know exactly where. Check pgtigersonline.com. We'll have the information there probably sometime tomorrow, but we will definitely be there. If you want to watch this game, we'll try to have that on available for you to watch probably sometime early tomorrow morning. Again, thank you and have a good night. We'll see you next week for the first round of the playoffs.
I'm excited.
This has been a presentation of Prairie Grove Tiger Football. The broadcast of tonight's game was made possible through PG Telco, the providers of PGTigersOnline.com. PG Telco, built on community, focused on progress. Ozark Delight, America's #1 fundraising lollipop. Lewis Automotive, serving all of Northwest Arkansas since 1947. The Bank of Fayetteville, we're banking on your potential. Sterling Drug, serving Prairie Grove since 1918. Flowers and Friends, flowers, gifts, and more with that hometown touch. Steak and Shake, famous for steak burgers, shakes, malts, and more, just south of the Northwest Arkansas Mall. J&B Auto, Prairie Grove's bumper-to-bumper parts store. And Frederick's One Stop, the one stop for all your needs when you're on the go. Also contributing to tonight's broadcast was the Prairie Grove All Sports Booster Club. Showing your Tiger pride is just a membership away. Click on pgtigersonline.com and follow the links. And on the behalf of the administration and the East Lab of Prairie Grove High School, and on the behalf of our broadcast team, Lynn Gregson, Zach Arns, and Steve Halbert, we want to thank you for watching Prairie Grove Tiger Football. It's great to be a Prairie Grove Tiger.